our media persons in the house. I can see Class TV, I can see Joy Business, I can see AAU TV, and a whole lot more who are here. Pan Africa TV and a whole lot more who are here. Thank you so much for participating in this event and making it reach the wider population. I would also want to acknowledge some very special guests in the house who've joined us to also impact this event. The first is Professor Joseph Ofori-Dankwa. Sir, are you here? Okay, he's not here, but you can put your hands there for him, it's fine. So I'll start with the CEO, Ghana Association of Banks, Mr. John Ewua. Sir, you here? Put your hands together for Mr. John Ewua. Thank you so much for coming. We also have another legal luminary. He served that much. Lawyer, lecturer, chartered banker, Mr. Richard Atta. Sir, you're welcome. We're also glad to have an academic in the house, and he is one of the lecturers serving with one of the future-ready universities in Ghana at the moment. He is the Dean of Business and Communication Arts, Academic University, Professor Enoch Opoku Entry. Put your hands together for him, sir. Thank you for being here. And also, a lawyer, partner at the P. Opoku Law Firm, Miss Dorothy Esinam Tete. Put your hands together for her. And also, co-founder Odwandini App. I think I will have to get the name very well. Odwandini App, Madame Dinah Van der Selt. Put your hands together for her, please. Glad to be here. And I will not leave out another luminary, lawyer and legal practitioner in Sian Akwete & Co., the person of Mr. Kennedy Riafi Ifa. Put your hands together for him as well. So you can admit, beyond all doubts, that today this event is fully packed with all the industry giants to help us understand what we need to understand, ask the strong questions, and get the answers we need. I wouldn't want to mince words. We would call on board we would be unveiling the Center for Financial Literacy Education Advisory Board. Okay, they will have to skip that. I would now move on to calling on board the man who has driven this vision thus far. And you don't need to be in a different form for you to drive such a very impactful and impact-driven agenda. This young man has really, really stood up to his purpose and has come this far. I can attest to it. He's my friend and brother, Mr. Peter Asarenyako, Executive Director for the Center for Financial Literacy Education. And he will be doing a presentation of the board citation. Put your hands together, him, please.
Good morning. I hope we are doing great. Awesome. So let me stand on all existing protocols. Our esteemed distinguished guests, industry leaders, partners, the media, all students present, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to stand before you today as we gather to mark Estate and Gate Planning Awareness Month 2024 in Ghana and the second edition of the National Estate and Gift Planning Awareness Conference, where we will also unveil our esteemed CFLE Advisory Board. This month serves as a pivotal reminder of the importance of careful and thoughtful planning, not only for the future of our businesses and families, but for the prosperity and sustainability of our entire nation. Our theme this year, Estate and Gift Planning, an instrument for wealth and sustainability. Giving back means giving forward, captures the essence of why estate and gift planning is so critical. As business owners, professionals, students, and community members, we are entrusted not only with building wealth, but ensuring that the fruit of our labor endure beyond our lifetimes. By so doing, we don't just secure our future, we shape the future for generations to come. Giving back means giving forward. What does this mean? It signifies that when we pass on the wealth we have accumulated, whether through business, real estate, investment, or intellectual capital, we are not merely handing over material assets. We are giving others the opportunity to build, grow, and sustain. Our legacies are the foundations upon which future generations can stand and thrive. Estate and gift planning is an essential tool for wealth creation and sustainability. Here in Ghana, family businesses form the backbone of our economy. Whether it is a large manufacturing company, a farming enterprise, or a local retail operation, these businesses are often the result of decades of hard work, dedication, and vision. Yet, without proper estate and gift planning, these legacies can be lost in a single generation. Through estate and gift planning, we ensure the wealth is preserved, properly managed, and passed down in a structured way. It allows us to protect businesses and assets from unnecessary taxation, legal challenges, or conflict within families. Estate and gift planning also allow us to extend our legacy beyond wealth by passing on values, principles, and a sense of responsibility to those who inherit our estates. In this way, we do not just transfer assets, we transfer the vision of sustainability and continuity. The concept of giving back in estate and gift planning is about more than just wealth transfer. It is an act of stewardship. We give back to our families, communities, and society by ensuring that we have built a legacy that contributes to prosperity and future increment. In this context, philanthropy plays a key role in this quest to build a generational legacy. By establishing charitable trusts and foundations or making planned donations, we can ensure that part of our legacy is dedicated to causes that improve society, such as what the Center for Financial Literacy Education is embarking on: financial literacy education, healthcare, and community development. With well thought out gifting strategies, we can support the next generation, whether through gifts to children or grandchildren. Just like what the Bible says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And so, through business succession plans, we can empower young leaders to carry the torch forward. In Ghana, the cultural importance of leaving something meaningful for future generations resonates deeply. By giving back through estate and gift planning, we are not only securing financial resources, we are laying down a foundation for future success and responsibility. When we talk about giving forward, we are speaking of succession, continuity, and the expansion of what we have built. Estate and gift planning ensures that the transition of wealth and business leadership is smooth, sustainable, and poised for growth. In many Ghanaian families, businesses are central to family wealth. However, studies over the years have shown that many family businesses do not survive the second or third generation due to lack of proper planning. A business succession plan ensures that businesses not only survive but thrive in the hands of future generations. It provides clarity on ownership transfer, tax efficiency, and leadership development, setting the stage for continual growth. Proper estate and gift planning minimize tax burden. Through gifting strategies, trusts, and other legal tools, family can pass on assets in a way that preserve value and avoid excessive taxation, ensuring that more wealth is preserved for the future. Effective estate and gift planning requires collaboration with legal, financial, and tax professionals. These professionals guide us in navigating the complexities of wills, trust, asset transfer, and tax obligations. With expert advice, we can ensure that the world we have built is safeguarded and that the next generation is prepared to manage it wisely. Today, I urge each of you to take action. Whether you are a seasoned business leader, a professional, an expert, or a student just beginning to build your legacy, estate and gift planning should be a priority. Planning early means you are minimizing risks. That is, preventing disputes among family, protecting assets from creditors, and ensuring that the wealth is transferred according to your wishes. Planning early means maximizing impact. That is, ensuring that your hard-earned wealth continues to grow and benefit future generations. And so, as we have gathered here, if you don't have an estate, you will create estates. Within few years to come, you are going to accumulate enough assets. And so there's the need for you to start thinking about how you can sustain that asset and even distribute that asset before your transition. As we celebrate Estate and Gift Planning Awareness Month this year, and we mark the second edition of the National Estate and Gift Planning Awareness Conference, let us remember that estate and gift planning is more than just a financial or legal exercise. It is an act of stewardship, generosity, and foresight. We are creating a bridge between the past, present, and future, ensuring that the legacies we leave behind are sustained. Giving back means giving forward. At the Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa, we believe that by giving to our families, businesses, and communities, we ensure that the wealth we generate today becomes the foundation for tomorrow's prosperity. Together, let us commit to securing our legacies and the future of Ghana. Let us end financial illiteracy and inherited poverty for all. Enjoy the rest of the National Estate and Gift Planning Awareness Conference. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. You can put your hands together for him. You can make it a loud one, a loud one. It is important. Oh, he made it very clear, very, very clear, that if you are planning for the future, you're actually becoming a good steward. And that is a very important line. You can put your hands together for that again. And it is so hard to hide the fact that you're all looking great today. Let me say it again. Put your hands together for yourselves. You're all looking so good. And I wish I could pass the mic around so you could tell me who designed or who planned your outfit. But since I have the microphone, I'll say mine, all right? I want to say thank you to SK Fashion, Bold Label. Put your hands together for Bold Label. So this morning when I walked in, I said hello to this. Next, hello. Hi. Say hi, bye. Hello. Yeah, the hi alone actually took me to the atmosphere, right? I was walking, but I was in the air. And I want to say thank you to SK for this nicely designed outfit. It took just some few days. He got my measurement and he did it so nice. So SK, wherever you are, be bold, Bold Label. Thank you so much. And if you want to also get something like this from SK, his number is 0243966887. 0243966887. So SK will be here later in the day, so I'll let you know who he is, the man behind what I'm wearing. Thank you so much for this. And moving on, we'll have our first session. So I believe you have your pens and notebooks ready to note down very important points. There's a man I met today, I met this morning, and I had a conversation with, and I was very touched. He inspired me. He gave me reasons why I shouldn't give up in life. He gave me reasons why I could multitask and also take up the next road in my life, which is to acquire more knowledge in the area of law. He himself is a lawyer and also as a lecturer, or he's a teacher. He's teaching and he's educating emerging and up-and-coming lawyers in the country. Nice people with a loud round of applause. Let's welcome Mr. Richard Arthur, Esquire, lawyer, to help us with the estate and gift planning, a case study presentation. It takes a whole lot of dedication to be what he is now. So you can't stop. Put your hands together for him, please.
Good morning. Our protocols observed. Whilst listening to the lady, he said something like has nothing, so he's not preparing well. Excuse me. He has nothing, so he's not preparing well. No. You have something, please come here. You have something that you don't know. And that is to say, once you start working, remember when you were young, our parents used to give us money box, and you were putting some monies in it. And as and when the money becomes more, we take a little to buy some toffee. That's a form of planning. Again, immediately you start working, you have to start saving. And one way of doing the saving is to go and ask about the insurance so that they tell you the type of insurance that can help you. Let me take an example like the nurses. As you start working, I think you are planning on going to school back. And if you want to do that, then you should plan that in about 3 or 4 years, who will pay my fees? If you don't know who is going to pay your fees, then you can go and take insurance, education, so that after a number of years, you pay some premium. When you are ready to go to school, the insurance will fund the money. And my friend John will tell you how to calculate the present value and net present value, so that if the school fees is 10,000 now, you can ask the actuaries to calculate what will be the value of 10,000 in 5 years, and they will tell you that you need to save another 40,000, and the insurance will tell you how much you pay every month, so that in 4 years you can come and pick your 40,000, go and pay your fees. Again, you say you don't have anything. Another thing you can also save and bequeath is good character. You should be able to, if you don't have anything at all, you should be able to bequeath a good character, so that somebody will see you and say, this is the character of this lady. I also want to emanate it. My business, the last thing I will talk about, the question is that refusing to plan is planning to fail. If you don't plan, the failure will plan for you and you fail. Are you with me? So you should plan for anything you do. And in conclusion, before I start, if you want to make money, one of the best ways is to learn how to be a bit miser. If you don't learn how to be a bit miser, you will never get money. That is to say, you have to learn how to suspend consumption. And I John and Tisa, you have to learn how to suspend consumption. You should be able to keep some money down without touching it. If you go to the village, you see some of our grandparents putting money under the pillow, putting some money under the bed, so that it is not when your child is sick, then you run to a neighbor to borrow you money. You should be able to suspend in consumption. I visited London, and a man told he's from Israel, but he has stayed in London. He says that if you say you are going to learn all the combination in this world, function dresses, you will never get money. So he taught me something. He said, all his trousers are black, all his shirts are white, all his shoes are black, all his socks are black. So when you wake up, you can never differentiate whether it's black yesterday or black today. He wears on it good. So if you want to make money, the first thing is to learn how to be prepared. When you prepare, yeah, now, for our ladies, they think a good man is the one who spread money on them. Please, young men, learn how to be prepared. And I join and sir. When you prepare, yeah, right, that one is very important. My business is to talk to you about the different ways of writing, different way of bequeathing properties. And there are two main ways. Either you yourself will expressly decide how your property should be shared, or someone will share it for you. And if you want to decide it, then become an express will. Then you become a testator. But if you don't do it expressly yourself and somebody does it for you, in Ghana, the PNDC 111 will do it for you. They will become an intestator. So there are two ways. Either you yourself decide how it should be shared, or when you are there, somebody will share it for you. And people are thinking how when somebody will die, then the benefit they will get. I used to have a cousin who is dead though. And one of my uncles, they moved from Accra to Abrudunko. Then they will come. Then my cousin was saying that, oh, Krachi do well the nature patiba manamba. Into mutas ye bedid monhundama mua because in the mua among my hair. Yes, I think that is very true. Now everybody is thinking. So the first thing is to look at what is estate. Estate is not the estate house you see, but estate is a person's or assets, property, and interest. Even interest is an estate. An interest can be something you have in something, and that is your estate. And the law dictionary is saying that a gift to is a voluntary donation. So in law, we have something we call consideration. I'm giving you something because I'm getting something back. That is where there's a benefit and a detriment. When I give you, I so benefit. So if you're a lady and somebody takes you to lunch frequently, he's not doing for fun. He's expecting something from you. So if you know you are not going to give what he wants, please don't be following him. Because by the third time, he will propose to you. Anyway. I don't know whether it's my phone. So that is it. I keep telling my daughters that if you don't like someone, don't go and take his money. And if you go and take his money, then go and do what that guy is expecting of you. Because he also had relatives. So if he's giving you money, then he is expecting something from you. That's very true. The law says that if you can bequeath a property to somebody, then it should be your own property. You can't bequeath somebody's property to another person. It is my phone. Can you take it? It is my phone. Hello. You should bequeath your own property, and the maximum for it is in Latin they call it nomi dat quid non habet. That is, you can't give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. So the law is saying that you can only donate what you have to somebody. And if you can donate only what you have with somebody, that is why the Wills Act, Act 360, is talking about who can make a will. And the Will Act is saying that anybody who is 18 years and above can make a will. And there's always confusion between 18 and 21. The point is that when you are 18, then you are no more a minor. But when you are 21, you are above adult. Years back, the minor age was up to 21, but now it has reduced to 18. So there are two ways. Let me even digress a bit and say these little things. If you are a lady or a boy, and somebody have sex with you, even with your consent, because you are less than 16 years, the law doesn't permit it. So if you are 16 years, and you willingly even go to bed with somebody, it's a crime. So if you are here and you are 16, you are not permitted to go to bed with anybody, whether by force or by your consent. Again, between 16 to 18 years, you are permitted to do it. But if you are not 18 years to, you can't marry. So the law is saying that you can only marry when you are 18 years. But the law is saying that between 16 and 18, you can enjoy yourself. It's permitted. It's only when you are below 16 years I can't do it. Again, from between 18 to 21, when you are going to marry, you have to seek the consent of your parents. So if you are 18 to 21, you are going to marry, you can seek the consent of your parent before you marry. Notwithstanding that, you see in our world here, some parents will say that, oh, I worry with them, so. But I'm not saying do that to your parents. But you see, legally, after 21 years, you don't need the consent of your parents before you marry. That is a fact. That is not the topic. But just to digress, to draw attention, so that if probably your parents not allow you to marry, wait, when you are 21 years, you can go to the local council, take your friend. Even when you are doing wedding, they don't say bring your parents to come and witness. They say bring 2 people to come and witness for you. That tells you that it's not by force that it's only your parents who should sign it. Please don't go and start fighting. I'm only telling you the truth. You see, the Bible says for lack of knowledge, my people perish. You should know so that you take steps to do the right thing. Then in Article 22 of the 1992 Constitution is saying that if somebody writes a will and he doesn't bequeath some of the property to the parents, to the wife, to the children, you can take the person to court so that some aspect of it can be given to you. Again, let me also say that it is not true that when you're a woman and you become a Mrs., automatically your husband's properties are yours. No, it is never like that. So a lot of people are forcing to be Mrs. so that when their husband dies, become their own. Look, you can be there, they write a will, and the property will be given to a girlfriend. You can't say anything. A case is Bosumtwe Sam in 2nd D. He has some problem with a wife. By the time he died and wrote a will, all the property has been given to a side chick and the daughters. The people thought the man was stupid, but that is his own will. My business today is to give you the ways by which you can't bequeath properties. And there are about 4 main ways by which you can bequeath a property. The first one in law, we call it inter-vivos gifts. Inter-vivos gift is the type of gift where when you are alive, you bequeath a property to the person before you die. And it can be in 2 ways. It can either be in written form or it can be in oral form. In the written form, we call it gift deeds. So when I want to, as I'm alive, I can decide to give my properties to one of my children. If you watch, lawyers normally don't write will. What they do is that before they die, they've distributed their properties. So when they die, it's not that they are going to call them and read will. But one way of doing it is to give the property to the person before you die. And you have to write it. And we call it gift deed. And it's an instrument you have to prepare, and you should be taken to a place to be authenticated and signed, like taking it to Lands Commission for it to be rubber stamp and all those things. So that is there. And when you give that gift deed, you give a copy and it is registered. We can cite cases to see that. There's a case because Sesi versus Sesi. In that case, the father wanted to go and take a loan from the bank. But he realizes that if he takes his name to the bank to say that that property belongs to him, they may attach the property. So he deliberately wrote a gift deed to his son. Then went to the bank and took the loan and pretended as if it is his son who is guaranteeing the loan, or the son who is using the property to guarantee the father's loan. Then after some time, the son wanted to claim the property, saying that the father has donated it to him. Unfortunately for the son, he did not complete the transfer of the property as a gift deed. So if somebody is giving you a gift deed and he has written it, make sure that it has gone through all the processes. It has been registered, it has been stamped, it's authenticated, then you get your document. Another aspect of intervivals is where the person uses his mouth and say that I'm giving this to you. In our traditional setup, what they do is that when they give that property to you, you have to go and call people to come and thank the person before he dies. So suppose I say I'm giving this property to my friend John. John have to go and bring some friends, preferably a member of my family, to come and thank me. And they will bring me a token, either a drink or a sheep as a seda. Years back, a father will make a cocoa farm. Then you give part of the cocoa farm to his children. Then when he's doing that, the children have to go and bring their family members, and they have to bring a family member from the father. Then they go and thank the father. They call it asida. It should be public. Everybody must see that that property has been given. So that is the first part. Either you do a deed gift or you do the book present. The next one, which is the testamentary disposition, that is the will. And it is covered by Act 360. And a will is something that occurs after your death. It can only be distributed after you are dead. That's why some people are saying that if you write a will, it will not take long, you will die. I don't know whether it is true. But I'm also told that when some of the ladies see that you have written the will and it is in their favor, then they are praying that you go early so that they can start benefiting with it. I'm told some of them, when you go, they go and take some young man and start enjoying with it. But because if you are old, you will not be enjoying with her. You can take a young man and enjoy with him. And the law is saying that Section 2 of the Will Act is saying that anybody above the age of 18 can write a will. But when you talk about the army have their own way of writing a will. Immediately you join the army, the police, they will give you a form you fill, and you tell them how your property should be distributed, especially your retirement benefit. That one is different from your personal property. So when you die, and it's similar to the Social Security too. Social Security too, you go and fill and tell how the property should be, when you die, how your benefit should be shared among your beneficiaries. I went to do some, and when I was doing it, I was filling it, giving more to my elder son and those things. Then the woman was advising me that it is better you give more to the younger ones than the elder ones, because the elder ones has already enjoyed, isn't it? So the smaller ones should take. In some cases, some people have been writing wills and they make their fathers the beneficiaries. Or they go to Social Security and make their parents beneficiaries. By the time they die, they won't go and change it. And when they die, you go there, you go and see that the beneficiary is either his father or his mother. Meanwhile, he now have wife and children. Please, if you have not done that, go and change it. When you write a will, it should be witnessed by two people. What it means that at the time when you are signing the will, two people should be there and witness that you are signing the will. Those two witnesses, they should be present. You don't sign the will and call them to come and sign as witness. They should be present and make sure that you are signing the will and they are looking at it. So what lawyers are doing is that when they are writing a will for you, they take pictures so that the two witnesses will be seen. Some even do video so that they take pictures so that you can see the two witnesses are there and they saw the testators signing it. A typical case of Re Abakan, in a case, Mr. Abakan wrote a will. He makes somebody do a will for him. After writing the will, he signed it. Later, he decided to change his mind to add some more. So he added about 4 more pages to the will. That one he didn't sign. Then when he died, they realized that the actual disposition was in the new pages that he has written. But because he didn't sign on the other pages, the will was not admitted. So it is important that when you are writing a will, you make sure that all the pages are signed. Another case concerning this will is Regroofman. In this case too, they wrote a will, they make everything, but when they were signing the will, one of the witnesses was not present. He later came, and the will was not admitted. Ilekua Manfo versus Margaret Akosia Ejewa case, it was also held that a will was written, those people were not bequeathed anything. Later, the law says that because they are wives and spouses, they were beneficiaries. So you go to Article 22 to make sure that those people are benefited. Again, the law is saying that when you write a will, you can only bequeath some to either your surviving parents or your child who is less than 18 years. Then in Humphrey Bonsu case, in that case, to the man wrote a will, he never bequeathed anything to his 2 children who were in Ghana. He didn't give them anything. The wife took the matter to court, but the court held that while the children were more than 18 years, the father owns those children no opportunity. And this is a case, I think we need to look at it and see whether it can change. I'm told I have a short this, but I still have to do it. Another type of, that is for the will, another type of way of disposing property is the customary way. In the customary way, what we do is that we don't write a will, but by custom, we know that when somebody dies, who will inherit him. And that is why Bimu say, Dachi Hini and Dachi Hima, that is there. And he knows that was for all into me. Like my cousin once said, Cratching the Owa or the Naja Padima Manambanti, Obedi didn't want son. Actually, me, what I'm doing is I've helped a lot of my relatives by paying their school fees. And that ends there, isn't it? Property nankasa mini pikra na mimi hu amabepiro. So my friend John will say that it is only when you have rented property that people will fight over it, isn't it? But you plan it in such a way that when you die, they don't fight. The guys have some saying that "Wakegbonye jani," and what it means is that when your parents leave you property and you die, they don't want it to go to the children. But later we see that we have type of ownership. We have joint ownership and co-ownership. Joint ownership, when the person dies, the property goes to the survivor. That is why with the bank, we open joint account, but we don't open co-account. With joint ownership, you sign what you call survivorship clause, so that when one dies, the survivor person will take it. When I was in the bank with GCB, at a point, a lady was having joint account with her husband, and the lady died. The relatives of the lady came to the bank to say that they know that their relative has a joint account with the husband. So they want to see how much in it and see how much the man can. I say, no, you don't own anything. All the money goes to the man immediately. So you have to know certain things. For lack of knowledge, my people will perish. Another way of disposing property is the Islamic way. In the Islamic, they use religion to distribute their properties. And in the Quran, they have stated how the property should be distributed. Unfortunately, I'm told when there's a woman and there's a man, the man gets more than the woman. Are you with me? That is the Sharia way of distributing it. But they too, they are given the dispensation of donating some of the properties before they die. So now what most of them are doing is that when they see that they have females and males, then they will rather make a personal, that is interval donation before they die. Because if that donation is done before he dies, it is after his death that the rest of his properties will be distributed. That is another way of going about it. And the last aspect, which we call the trust. A trust is similar to a will. But with the trust, what happens is that instead of the person giving the property to you, from me to you direct, he rather appoint another person to look after those properties. A typical example is probably, not me, or maybe my friend Johnny, who maybe he has a son, has a child outside home. He doesn't want the wife to know that he has a child outside home. And if he goes to tell the wife that he have a child outside home, there will be trouble, isn't it, John? So what John will do is that John will create a trust in my name, and I will become the trustee. And John will give me instructions that I be Misrao, I will in trouble. Me diske ni dying mount. Shaso mami bay because it will me dimwa asambesi. So a trust is where a donor appoints a trustee for the trustee to manage the property for the benefit of a third party. Unlike a will where the property moves from the donor to the beneficiary direct. With the trust, there's a middleman. So if you know you have such a thing, don't worry, you can create a trust. A typical case in the will I forgot. At Osu Presby, there was this man who was in Germany. He came to Ghana. He wanted to come and settle in Ghana. And the wife and the children did not accompany him to Ghana, so he came to stay in Ghana. But when he died, he donated the property to the church. And the pastor, in his wisdom, because of salvation, decided to give one of the properties to the wife and the children. Somebody took it to court, and the court took it away from the pastor, took it away from the man and the woman, and gave it to the church. So please, if you are a lady here and you are with a man, and your relationship with the man is no good, please make it good. Other than that, when he dies, he writes a will. Or what other people are doing is that if they don't want to bequeath, then they will give the property to a trustee. But with the trust, we have two types. We have constructive trust, then we have the resulting trust. The resulting trust is where you don't want somebody to see that you are buying the property. So if probably I want John to buy a property, I will give the money to John, and John will buy the property in his name. But there will be evidence to show that I gave the money to John to buy the property. So in future, if I can prove that I gave the money to John to buy the property, that property become a resulting trust. Or if you are with your wife, and your wife is richer than you, and he gives you money to build a property, unfortunately for your wife, you, the man, build the property in your name. If your wife can prove that he gave you the money to build the property, then it becomes a resulting trust. The opposite of it, because a woman is entitled to something we call advancement. That is to say, a lady when he gets married, a man is supposed to provide certain basic needs for the woman. Because of that, when you, the man, you give the money to the lady to build the property, because of the concept of advancement, that one, the resulting trust will not come in. Because already you own a duty to give her upkeep. Are you with me? So if you are a man and you are building properties and you build it in the woman's name, you should know that indirectly you have donated it to him. Another thing you should also understand is that no matter what, when you put a property on a family land, it becomes a family property. It doesn't matter how you put it. So when you put a property on a family land, there are many men who are building on their wife's father's land, thinking that they will get, whereby the marriage breaks down. So please, don't be putting properties on family land. In my hometown, we have a family land, but when I was going to build, I bought a land somewhere and built on it. Then people didn't understand me. It is later that my cousins I understand, because some of my cousins female things that they have a say in those properties. The last aspect is what we call the intestate. If you don't prepare a will, unfortunately my time is up. If you don't prepare a will and you die, the law will distribute your property for you. And we call it PNDC 111. The law is saying that the law is very interested in the surviving spouse, the surviving children, the surviving parents, and the customary inheritance. So, should I die today and my parents are alive, my parents are entitled. My wife is entitled and my children are entitled. And another portion too will go to the one who inherits me. And it is distributed like 5, 9 to 10, 1, 8, and 1, 8. That is what time will permit me to talk. Thank you very much.
You can do better. Put your hands together for him, please. I must say, there is a whole introduction to law and a whole lot more. We have really learned a lot. Thank you so much, Sir Richard Arthur, for your education on will making and a whole lot more. Let me also introduce to you some other special guests who've joined us. I'm glad to introduce Mr. Isaka Ibrahim. He General Manager for Metropolitan Pension Trust. Put your hands together for him, please. And also, Madam Ramat Ebala Waja, Sector Head, Accra Tema Zone National Investment Bank. Put your hands together for her. We're glad you're here. And I can't leave out our very own Madam Mimi Anane Apia, Business Development Manager of Fidelity Securities Limited. Put your hands for Mimi. So it's important that we get back something that was overlooked, and it is the unveiling of the Center for Financial Literacy Education Advisory Board, which will be headed by Professor Joseph Ofori-Dankwa. So we can take it up, right? All right, so I'll call Mr. Daniel Ofori-Dankwa. Okay, you may have to accept me. Okay. Okay, so we would have to then present the advisory board and also hand to them some citations. But we'll take a video from Professor Joseph Ofori-Dankwa, who's not here with us, but has a video message for us all. So let's have it on the screen so we can have the message from Professor Joseph Ofori-Dankwa, Professor of Management, Saginaw State University, USA. I hope he's up there, right? Oh, he's not there yet. So he'll be on our screens shortly with a short message before we can have the advisory board unveiled. So before the video comes. Okay, so are we on? Okay.
This is the formal unveiling of the Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa, and I want to thank Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa for giving me the honor of formally unveiling their advisory board and its off-council members. CFLE plays a vital role for both individuals and the nation. It is helping to demystify financial literacy. It's helping to educate people and provide them with financial literacy skills. And this is one of the most powerful, catalytic, and transformative elements to uplift a nation as it strives their doing. In this respect, I also want to strongly commend Mr. Peter Kojo Asari Yakon, the Executive Director of CFLE Africa, for his enthusiasm, energy, dedication, and commitment to enhancing the financial literacy skills of all Ghanaians in all walks of life. CFLE's vision and mission is powerful. The vision is to build an Africa in which all people are financially aware and financially literate, and where all people have access to ethical financial advice, product, and services. That's the vision. And its mission is equally powerful and aligned to the vision. To address the lack of financial awareness and financial illiteracy's epidemic. And they're going to do this through advocacy, empowerment, education, training, research, and policy implementation. For CFLE to carry out this powerful vision and mission, I am proud to say that 5 very talented advisory board members have been selected. The 5 members of the board, the advisory board, are Mr. John Ewua, the Chief Executive Officer, Ghana Association of Banks. And he is going to be the chair of this advisory board. Professor Enoch Opoku Entry, who is the Dean of Business and Communication Arts, Academic Center, City University College. Mrs. Ramat Ebela Waja, the Sector Head, Accra Tema Zone of the National Investment Bank. Mr. Kennedy Wiafe Efa Esquire, a lawyer and legal practitioner in Sia Akwete and Co. And finally, Mr. Daniel Ofori Dankwa, who is the president of Pro Patria Limited. And so these 5 are the identified and selected members of the advisory board. The 3 off-council members are Mr. Valentino Sabuko, the Executive Director, the Financial Awareness Foundation, USA. Madam Sandra Davis, Executive Director, Sage Financial Solutions, USA. And Madam Genevieve Amevo, Financial Administrator, Gentinel Loop Marketing Limited in Canada. To the board members and the off-council members, may I salute you for accepting this very, very daunting but very important task. May I suggest that you continue with a high level of commitment. You already have the expertise, you already are talented, and bringing this to CFLE will help to elevate the organization and will help to impact all the people in Ghana. As you go forward in helping to drive the vision and mission of CFLE, may God bless each and every one of you. May his countenance shine on you. May he give all of you wisdom, dedication. And so I am proud to formally unveil and activate the advisory board and its off-council members of the Center for Financial Literacy Education in Africa. I formally declare the board and its off members open and activated. God bless you on this journey. Thank you.
For it, Dankwa. Accordingly, ladies and gentlemen, as he has declared, I would also want to humbly invite all the advisory board members, starting from the chair, Mr. John Ewa, CEO, Ghana Association of Banks, Professor Enoch Opoku Enchi, Dean of Business and Communication Arts, Academic State University College, Mr. Kennedy Wiafi Ifa Esquire, lawyer and legal practitioner in Sia Akwete & Co., Madam Ramat Abella Waja, Sector Head, Accra Tamazone National Investment Bank, and Mr. Daniel Oforidankwa, President, Pro Patria Limited. Nice people, the advisory board. So I'll pass the mic around for brief responses.
All right, thank you very much, Peter, and for everyone who is involved in CFLE activities. On behalf of my fellow council members and board of advisors, I would like to thank Peter and the team, including Valentino, that we know the task ahead of us is a lot of work. It's the kind of work that we say we do for God and country, because you know the importance of financial literacy and also importance of planning our estate. So personally, I'm excited to be part of this, and I'm very certain that the other directors here are also proud to be part of this. We are very committed to ensuring that future events and the activities of the Education Center, the Financial Literacy Africa Center, goes on, and the values that we want to put out there to the general public, the number of people we want to reach. We provide the kind of expertise, the support, utilize our network to support the activities of the organization. So I'm sure my colleagues here will have maybe a few words to also say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Our elders said that when the oldest finish their bath, then the water gets finished. I thought that when the chairman speaks, then we will all not speak again, but we've been asked to say something. A week ago, I was returning from my village, which is not a village, because I come from Koforidua. And I got to Adolso. Then one food that I have not eaten for a long time is the cocoyam that you cook. You know, you just wash it and cook it, and you have some hot pepper with some kobe and, you know, some oil on it. It's something that I have not eaten for a long time, almost 20 years. So Akao, he said Akao. See, he's a good chairman. So there was this woman selling it, the cocoyam, and I asked of the price, and she said it is 100 Ghana cedis on a small basket. And you know, anywhere there is a market, you have to bargain in Africa. It's not like US where I stayed for the past 20 years and you can't bargain. Even when you buy it and it's $20, there's another tax component. So if you have $20, you can't buy it, even though the price is $19.99, which is a trick. It's still $20. You have to add a tax component. So I asked the woman, I will give you 50. She said, oh, ubekume. And I said, by ubekume, because I can't buy it for 100. And then we were bargaining, she said, okay, give me 80. And I said, I'll give you 60. Then she said, how can I pay for my quick loan? And that struck me. Did you take quick loan to sell this on the roadside? She said, yes. Some guys came here to educate us, and then they taught us how to borrow some money, sell, get some, and then save it. So I've been able to do this and send my child to University of Ghana. Now you see the impact that financial awareness is creating, even at the grassroots. So I'm thrilled to be here, and I know you are all thrilled to be here. Thank you.
I would just say that there's a lot of work to be done, and we are committed to it. We will do it, and we will ensure that the greater majority of Ghanaians are financially educated. When Mr. Arthur spoke, he said, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. He was quoting from the Bible, and it is true. So we will do the work. We will hit the ground running. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think I'm truly honored, and I accept to be an advisory board member for the Center for Financial Literacy Africa. It's something I'm very passionate about personally. So on some few social media platforms and people that know, almost on a daily basis, I post personal financial tips, financial management tips, and business management tips as well. I'm excited to join all of you in the mission of enhancing financial understanding and education, okay, because it's very important for sustainable growth and also for prosperity. Coincidentally, today happens to be my birthday. And so it's truly a great honor done me, right? All right, and I think before I end, I think together we can champion this cause, okay? We can equip individuals with financial knowledge and skills so that they will be able to make informed financial decisions. Once again, I want to say thank you to Mr. Peter Nyako, the Executive Director for Center for Financial Literacy Africa, the whole team. I'm grateful. Thank you.
And as we get ready to sing happy birthday, are we ready? Okay. It's also part of financial awareness, you know. But when is the birthday? Very importantly, when is the birthday, make sure you don't overspend. Because I have just few things that drive me. Youth, I'm extremely passionate about youth. I'm extremely passionate about enterprise. social or commercial. And I'm extremely passionate about the God factor, which is ethics, morality, and so on and so forth, decision making. And so all I just want to leave with you is that you ain't seen the end of me yet. I'm coming to the nursing schools under the guise of CFLE Africa, and together we are going to make financial giants in Ghana. Thank you very much.
All right, so we would have citations being presented, and that will be done by Mr. Peter Kojo-Asare-Nyarko. But before that, we can have them sit down, right? Okay, so. Okay, all right. So assisted by Mr. Richard Atta, you can help with the presentation of the citations. Can we have them brought on board? Okay. So let's get all the citations. Whilst we also have a picture, a photo shoot going on, a photograph of the board members. All right. So majestically, we have our citations brought forward. So board members can kindly take their seats. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So it's.
So on behalf of the team at the Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa, we want to thank the advisory board, and we are happy to work under them, to take instructions from them, to push financial literacy across Ghana and across Africa. So on this note, we have some citation, and I will call Ethel to come and help us read. Yes.
Okay, so citation in honor, in recognition of Mr. John Ewuah, Distinguished Advisory Board Chairman, Center for Financial Literacy Education, CFLE Africa. In recognition of this exceptional contribution and unwavering commitment to promoting financial literacy and education, we are proud to honor Mr. John Ewuah, a Distinguished Advisory Board Chairman to the Center for Financial Literacy Africa. As a leader in the financial industry, Mr. Ewuah has brought invaluable expertise, insight, and passion to the organization's mission of empowering individuals and communities with the knowledge and the tools they need to achieve financial well-being. With an impressive career in the financial sector, Mr. John Ewuah has admonished a steadfast commitment to advancing financial education and literacy. His deep knowledge of financial control, governance, and corporate strategies has been instrumental in driving CFLE Africa's vision and ensuring that its programs are aligned with the best practices and innovative approaches. Beyond his financial achievements, Mr. Ewuah is deeply passionate about monitoring and supporting the next generation of leaders, making him a true advocate for education, growth, and sustainable progress in the financial literacy space. For your extraordinary contribution and continued dedication for financial inclusion, financial education, and financial literacy, we are honored to present this citation to your recognizing an invaluable service on the advisory board of the Center for Financial Literacy Africa. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, our esteemed advisory board chairman. Together, let's end financial literacy and inherited poverty for all.
So Mr. Atta will do as the honors to present.
So, citation of honor in recognition of Madame Ramat Ibela Waja. Please forgive me if I didn't pronounce the name well. Okay. So, Distinguished Advisory Board Member for Center for Financial Literacy Africa. In recognition of Madame Ramat Ibela Waja, a Distinguished Advisory Board Member of the Center for Financial Literacy Africa, we are celebrating her exceptional contribution to the banking sector and her unwavering commitment to financial literacy and empowerment. We honor Madame Ramat Ibela Waja for her exemplary leadership, her significant contribution to financial literacy, and her commitment to empowering the next generation. Her work not only transformed individuals, but also strengthened communities and paved the way for a financially literate future in Africa. Welcome aboard our esteemed advisory board member. Together, let's end financial literacy and inherit poverty for all. Thank you.
Madam Dinah. Yes, please do as the honors.
Citation of honor in recognition of Professor Enoch Opoku Entry, Distinguished Advisory Board Member, Center for Financial Literacy Education, Africa. In recognition of Professor Enoch Opoku Entry, an esteemed Advisory Board Member of the Center for Financial Literacy Education, Africa, we celebrate your exceptional contribution to the field of education and leadership. We honor Professor Enoch Opoku Entry for his remarkable achievement, steadfast leadership, and profound impact on financial literacy and education in Africa. His vision and expertise continue to inspire those around him, paving the way for a brighter future in business and communication arts. Welcome aboard our esteemed advisory board member. Together, let's end financial literacy and inherit poverty for all.
Mr. Isaka. Yes.
Citation of honor in recognition of Kennedy Riafi Efa, Esquire, Distinguished Advisory Board Member, Center for Financial Literacy Education, Africa. In recognition of Kennedy Riafi Efa, Esquire, a valued Advisory Board Member of the Center for Financial Literacy, Africa, we honor his exemplary contribution to the banking and legal sector over a distinguished career spanning more than 16 years. We honor Mr. Kennedy Riafi Efa for his unwavering commitment to excellence in banking and law, his dedication to community service, and his influential role in advancing financial literacy and legal education in Africa. His multifaceted expertise and leadership continue to inspire those around him, contributing significantly to the growth and development of our society. Welcome aboard our esteemed advisory board member. Together, let's end financial literacy and inherited poverty for all.
We will call another Esquire, Madam Dorothy, to do as the honors.
Citation of honor in recognition of Mr. Daniel Ofori Dankwa, Distinguished Advisory Board Member, Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa, in recognition of Mr. Daniel Ofori Dankwa, an esteemed Advisory Board Member for the Center for Financial Literacy Education Africa. We honor your profound contribution to financial literacy and youth development with over 28 years of corporate experience spanning esteemed organizations like KPMG, National Investment Bank, and Access Bank. You have consistently demonstrated your passion for ethics, professionalism, corporate governance, and leadership. The Center for Financial Literacy Africa celebrates your unwavering service and exemplary leadership, which contributes to inspire positive transformation in communities and industries alike. Welcome aboard our esteemed Advisory Board Member. Together, let's end financial literacy and inherited poverty for all. Thank you.
So I will do this myself. All right, so the message is very simple. Together, let's end financial illiteracy and inherited poverty for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And there it is. There it is. We have unveiled the advisory board members and citations were presented. A while ago, we had a special submission and delivery by Mr. Richard Atta on estate gift planning, a case study presentation. And next is another special encounter. Before that, let me just go and meet my organizer for some information. All right. So I earlier introduced a very, very important guest in the house, and we would have to hear her express her thoughts about this event, and it's an honor to invite up here Sage Ghana Odwadini. Sorry, I missed that. Forgive me. Interestingly, during important times, technology wants to create an issue, but it's fine. It's fine. We understand how it works. So I would accept it, and then I would reach to my data on my phone and make sure that I refer to her properly. So Madam Diana van der Stelt, co-founder Odwadini app. Ma'am, can you join me up here? Put your hands together for her. Yes. I'll meet you up. I'll meet you up, and I'll bring you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's my honor to be in this event. I'm having such a good time because this is an awesome topic, and it's super important. And if we hear the law professor talk about all of those things, some of you may think, oh, this is for elderly people, but it's not. I just want to address one of the ladies sitting there who said, I have nothing, so I don't need a will. I accidentally, a few months ago, I found out that I had a very old auntie, like she had no children, and the husband also passed away. She was 98 years old, and she was in a wheelchair, but she was actually secretly sitting on a lot of money. And when she passed away, she left some of that money to me, and that was like a big surprise. And anything like that may happen to any one of you. You know, a family member may pass away, and then you think, I'm in school, I have my first small savings in the bank, and suddenly you find yourself with a family land or money in the bank or anything, and it's important that you start planning your life very well from the day that you start to make small money. Even when you're in school, you may have a side hustle or anything. It's very important that you start to save money, that you stay frugal, and you start this financial planning very early in your life. It's going to help you a lot. Before you know, you may be 30 or 35 years old, you'll be able to buy a land, start building your own house and things like that. So it's super important that you take care of this. And I'm really impressed by the whole program and the fantastic advice that you've been giving on this topic. Insurance, planning of your school fees, all of that is very important. We from the Ojadini app organization, I'm here with Wilbert Boato, our marketing manager also. We just missed one important topic, which is record keeping. Because if you plan your finances and you start to save, you don't spend your money on unnecessary things. It's also very important that you keep track of everything. So we advise you as a private person to keep track of your records and to at least once a quarter or so write down and check where your financial status is. People owe you. You can call them and ask your money back. You can also see if your savings have been going well the way you planned, how far you are with all of those things. And it's a simple thing. You can just do it in a notebook, and every 3 months you check what you have. And then you can also make adjustments. Maybe you've got a pay rise. You can start increasing your savings. You can start to pay back some of the loans that you have outstanding and stop paying interest. All of those things to keep you growing in a healthy way. We are also about record keeping, but we also focus on a small and medium-sized enterprise, particularly informal traders and service providers. So if you have a small job, a small trade, very soon you will be able to download our app from the App Store. Maybe, Wilbert, can you just stand up and show your beautiful T-shirt to everyone? This is the Ojadini app, and we are at a moment. There will be a free version, a free version for everyone with an informal trade on the Play Store very soon. We are expecting it around the 1st of November to go live. Yeah, so if you have a small business like that, use our app, and otherwise, write down your own records to see that every 2 or 3 months you know exactly where you are financially. So enjoy the rest of the program. Thank you.
And as part of the public education, CFLE is partnering Ojadini very soon to roll out some of this education. So let's clap for Madam Dinah.
Forgive me, pure Akan. And I was just thinking I was pronouncing our Arabian term. It is Ojadini, trader. Hey, we have suffered in this country. Everybody wants to. In fact, I know they will bash me at home. Ojadini, it is for the trader. So if you're a trader in-house, subscribe to the platform and get access to all the tools to help you excel in your trade. So thank you so much, Madam Dinah, for this very novel impact you're making within the SME space with the Ojadini app. Very important. Yeah. Not Ojadini, Ojadini. Adolfo Besamo. Are you ready for the... So we have another video that we have to watch and also appreciate some messages, goodwill messages from other speakers across. So you may want to reflect again on the app. Yes, Ojadini is the name of the app. All right, so we're expecting a video shortly. So whilst with the video.
Greetings from Sonoma County, California. Hello, my name is Valentino Sabuco. I'm the Executive Director of the Financial Awareness Foundation. And it's our pleasure to join you today in the fourth year of the Improving Financial Awareness and Literacy movement in Ghana, and in celebrating October as Estate and Gift Planning Awareness Month. Congratulations and thank you, Peter. Today's distinguished presenters and dignitaries, the Center for Financial Literacy's education team, CFLE's advisory board, CFLE and the Financial Awareness Foundation's ambassadors, strategic partners, volunteers, academic administrators, faculty members, students, and Ghanaian industry and community thought leaders for your dedication to this vital cause. Do we have a problem? The world's facing a financial awareness and literacy epidemic. In Ghana is no exception. With a population of over 33 million, nearly 7 million people live in extreme poverty in Ghana. Many struggle to feed their families, and with inflation above 20%, sustainable wages, particularly in agriculture, are hard to achieve. The lack of financial awareness, outdated information, along with the absence of applied personal finance education and other life skills, lead to poor decision-making, leaving many without financial security. Is there a solution to this financial illiteracy epidemic? We think so. The answer lies in better personal financial education combined with other essential life skills. By empowering individuals with the principles of smart money management and can break the cycle of inherited poverty and build a more prosperous, self-reliant communities, fostering sustainable economic growth. This is why we launched the Improving Financial Awareness and Literacy movement in Ghana in 2021, after years of strategic planning. It serves as a communication platform to create awareness, motivate learning, and help people apply knowledge to the challenges they face personally, within their families, communities, country, and across the world. The movement, which began in the US over a decade ago, is now growing across 5 continents. In closing today, together we can improve lives by encouraging everyone to get and keep their financial house in order with an up-to-date financial estate and gift plan, using it as a roadmap to a successful career in life. Financial literacy is not just a tool for wealth, it's a path for sustainability, independence, and a brighter future for all. Thank you and congratulations once again, Peter, today's distinguished presenters and dignitaries, and the Center for Financial Literacy's education team, CFLE's advisory board, CFLE and the Financial Awareness Foundation ambassadors, strategic partners, volunteers, academic administrators, faculty members, students, and Ghanaians industry and community thought leaders, and you, the viewers, for all you're doing to help make this a better world for all. Working together, we can improve the quality of life, end hunger and inherited poverty, and many social injustices. Stay safe and healthy. There's much work to do and fun to be had. Wishing you all the very best always. Goodbye for now.
Thank you so much, Valentino Sabuco, for your goodwill message. Okay, now another very, very interactive session is approaching where we now sit with these industry giants and then we deliberate on very important matters pertaining to this event. The questions that were shared earlier today, the answers that were coming, the thoughts, the perceptions, the uncertainties, and a whole lot more will be answered at this moment when they sit to explain and then clear the way for you all to appreciate how important financial literacy is for the 21st century young man and woman. I would want to invite our speakers for this moment for a panel discussion on the theme, Building a Legacy and Generational Wealth Through Financial Estate and Gift Planning. I believe that my stewards in the house are helping with the arrangements upstage. So until it is done, I will not invite anybody. But we're going to just set the pace so you all appreciate what is going to happen here in the next 45 minutes. That is where the tough questions, all right? The difficult questions that we ask ourselves. Why my friend likes the sound of insurance but does not own one? Why my friend likes the sound of a will but yet is scared to own one? Why do we all like the fact that we have money in the bank or investment policy, yet perhaps we've not even gone to ask for how we can start an investment plan? And a whole lot more. This is the forum where all of these issues will be discussed. So if you're ready, put your hands together for yourselves. Put your hands together. Yes. So we'll still repair it. So before we start, let me just give you a clue of who will be joining me up here and why. So I would have here with me 2 legal practitioners, and it's important that we have 2. I say, are they 2? Yeah, we have 2. Yes, because they will be giving us that in-depth legal understanding on why all of these financial decisions matter legally, so you can be legally correct. And also I have someone within the securities aspect. So when it comes to investment, when it comes to insurance, pensions, we're all looking so nice this morning. Who thinks about pension by this time? No, I mean, who does that? There's shawarma in it. Yes, and a whole lot more. And there's also someone here within the insurance space who will help us understand, appreciate insurance. Why must you be insured? I learned a footballer has insured the leg, and we are still walking around not insuring our legs. In fact, we will appreciate insurance a whole lot more. So let me just invite the very first speaker, lawyer, legal practitioner, Insia Akwete and Co., Mr. Kennedy Wiafe Efa Esquire. Put your hands together for him as he makes his way up to sit. Yes, thank you, sir. He has sat down. The next person is also a partner, P. Opoku Law Firm, Miss Dorothy Isinam Tete. Put your hands together for Miss Dorothy. Sure. Next is also a very, very prolific name within the area of securities. Business Development Manager, Fidelity Securities Limited, Mrs. Mimi Anane Apia. Put your hands together for Mrs. Mimi. And last but not the least is my very own big brother, the General Manager, Metropolitan Pensions Trust, Mr. Isaka Ibrahim. Put your hands together for him as he makes his way up here. Good. And I am glad to represent you all on this very important forum so that your issues are channeled to our speakers. I will need all the microphones up here. So, Stewards, can you help me? All the remaining two microphones. There were 3, right? Sure. Good. Thank you. So I'll have one here, and then we'll have one also here. Okay, no, one should be here. I'll pass mine. Sorry. All right. So I sit here. Are we all good? So let's do this one last time. Put your hands together for us all. Very well. So if you joined this morning's session, you would appreciate that there is a gap of knowledge that we need to make available to our young people, young professionals within the industry of health, academia, and a whole lot more. We need to appreciate these financial elements, insurance, wills, and a whole lot more, because we also have our own biases and perceptions. You can't blame us for it. Society has made us create that kind of stigma in our minds. So we want to begin with the very first matter. Within the next 45 minutes, 60 minutes, we will be talking in-depthly about this matter. The very first one is to just have a brief overview of how things have been for you within your various spheres of work and what's trending. What's trending, right? What's trending, right? Yeah, so what's trending within the field of Mr. Kennedy?
I guess what is trending is the majority becoming minority and minority becoming majority. Well, we've just started a new legal year. For us in the legal fraternity, October is our new year. We start a new legal year every October and end in July. And then August, September serves as our vacation. So we just started a new legal year. I'm looking forward to so many good things. And it's good to begin my year with this opportunity to talk about financial literacy, to talk about estate planning, gifts, and like Daniel said, the youth, to engage the youth and impact. So I'm happy to be here, and we are ready to share. Yeah.
Close to you. Let's say from you, I know he has said something very unique, yeah? Say something different. What's happening?
Hello. So for us lawyers, 2025 has begun, and as I was seated, I just realized a program my St. Rose's old students had earlier on this year, where we invited Peter to speak on financial planning. In fact, when I got here and saw the person, I knew I had seen him somewhere. So I was texting my other executives and asked them, the guy who came, is he called Peter? And they were like, yes. I was like, wow, the world is very small.
He's the one. He's
very,
the one.
very small. So I'm so glad to be here.
Nice.
And I'm ready to deliver.
Sure. Thank you. Mimi, what's happening?
It's cool. Yeah, so I mean, it's almost been 2 years post DDP, that's Domestic Debt Exchange Program. The economic challenges still persist, though not as scary as it used to be. And as an industry, we are trying to recover because we were hit so hard. Not only did people lose money, but investor confidence is terribly low. Of course, there's a gold coin that was introduced by the Bank of Ghana, even though they are not our regulator, since we are in the securities industry and it involves some kind of investments. That's a new thing. That represents the fact that now investors are looking for alternatives, whereas what people only wanted to hear was Government of Ghana securities in the past, because as Ghanaian, we like guaranteed returns. Now people are more open, to other investment options other than what we were used to because of what we saw. So that's a good thing. That's an opportunity for us to innovate despite the difficult times we find ourselves in. And I'm excited to be here to share my knowledge.
Splendid, splendid. Mr. Ibrahim. Yeah, he has a microphone, sure.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm also very excited to be here. In our space, thankfully, the government concluded the domestic debt exchange program with the Eurobond holders. So it started to build some confidence in the investment community. in my space, the pension space has not been easy, particularly because government didn't want to come there, and at the end of the day, they came there and sort of dampened people's spirits in the pension space. But gradually we are recovering, and we are hoping that government will honor their commitment in 2026, 2027, as it promised, and that's what we are looking forward to. And of course, I'm also excited to be here, seeing everyone, and sharing our insights and thoughts as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And as we kickstart, I will need you all to put your hands together for our speakers again. Yes, they have shared with you what is happening. And that is a clear way to start the whole program. Now let's begin with the whole issue of financial legacy. You look at the faces of the nice people over here, and we talk about financial legacy. We know what comes to mind. Skyscrapers, mansions, cars, and a whole lot more. Legacy. How do we demystify this whole term of financial legacy, and how do we practically use estate, gift planning, and other important instruments to realize this?
For me, when we talk about a person's legacy, I look at it as consisting of three major things. The reputation. In Akan we say Edin Bena Wenya. Then you talk about impact. How has the person impacted those around him and society in general? Then the third one is the estate. For me, this is what forms a person's legacy. Now, the reputation and the impact stands, as against not as against, but they are on one side, and you have the estate. The estate is where the financial legacy is. So when we talk about financial legacy, we are not looking at money per se. We are referring to a person's estate consisting of everything the person owns by way of property. So it includes the monies, it includes the houses, the land, investments, personal properties that you have in the house and all that. So for me, that is the financial legacy. What consists of, what is in the estate is the financial legacy. Yes.
Dorothy, what's your perspective to this issue of financial legacy, and how do we use these existing instruments to achieve it, in your perspective?
So I look at financial legacy being your wealth, your assets, property, movable and immovable property that you devise or leave behind for your beneficiaries. And to leave such things behind, you need documents or you need a procedure to leave them behind. So if you are wealthy, you have mansions, you have shares, you have whatever. Same must be passed down to beneficiaries. And these documents bring certainty. So when you have these documents like a will or a trust to pass down these financial legacies to beneficiaries, it prevents confusion at your death, or it prevents uncertainty on who exactly should have what. So I believe documents like wills and trusts make things simpler and make certainty sure to everybody.
Sure. No, you made very bold statements. Documents, money. I'm looking at my friends' faces in the house. I'm like, it's a huge task. Mimi, you are coming from a security point of view. Tell us your perspective.
Okay, so I think the lawyers have defined financial legacy. For me personally, financial legacy is very important because I do not want to pass on and see my children start from scratch. There definitely has to be something that they are building on. And it doesn't even need to be just my kids, whoever I believe I should pass on these assets to. And as a person, it encourages me to do more. Some people are not encouraged to put in more because other people will enjoy it. But for me, it actually encourages me to do more, because I feel like in this side of the world, we don't do a lot when it comes to that. So it's like every generation is starting all over again. Whereas in other places, your parents leave something to you. At least where to sleep may not be a problem. You are now figuring out like how to build on whatever they left. And it's not just about leaving assets, for your kids, because if you don't leave the right knowledge, they would also mess up everything you've worked on. So whilst you're working hard, you're building these assets, creating wealth, putting in place the plans to make sure that it's not your auntie in the village who takes the properties because you don't want her to. Also making sure that whoever you are leaving the properties to is knowledgeable enough to manage and improve on what you've done. So that 100 years after you're gone, we can say that somebody started this and is still, there.
And we'll have Mr. Abraham's perspective as well to this matter.
Yeah, thank you. So for me, I see financial legacy in three phases, i.e. successfully building wealth, maintaining or sustaining it, and then passing it on to the next generation. But the financial legacy is not also just about wealth, because many times we've seen instances where monies or assets or wealth has been passed down to generations and they've just disappeared. And so once you are passing on the asset and the wealth, as Mimi said, try to pass on the knowledge as well. Try to pass on the values as well. Try to pass on the principles as well. And finally, try to pass on the discipline of ensuring that the asset or the legacy you've left behind will be maintained for the next generation. So I see financial legacy, as I said, in three phases. And when you're passing it on, you should ensure that all these things are passed on to the next generation as well. Thank you.
All right. And this one actually starts with you. One of the, I would say, outlying effects of our very impoverished economical experiences because of generational debts and not wealth. And so many people grow up and then you are working harder to pay off debts incurred by a father or grandfather a whole lot more, and not the wealth that you can also enjoy and blow. My friend would say blow the cash. The question is, how can you advise families, individuals here who are looking forward to start families, to take steps in building generational wealth and not generational debts?
Thank you. So it all starts with the basics, right? It all starts with the basic, and the basic is planning. I mean, we've heard severally from other speakers that when we fail to plan, we are planning to fail, right? So the basic is that make sure you have a plan once you intend to build a financial legacy. And so once you have that plan, then it gives you the guidance, it gives you the principle, it gives you the blueprint to create the wealth that you want to create. Once you are building it, there's something that a lot of us in this country or a lot of us in this side of town also miss, and that is protecting the wealth we have built. Insurance is something that nobody wants to hear, right? But it is very important because many a time, how many times have we heard an uncle pass away and the children are not going to school anymore, right? How many times have we heard like a shop has caught up or has caught fire, and that is the end of the wealth in the family, right? So once we are building and maintaining, one important aspect is to protect that particular wealth you are building, and that is where insurance comes in. And I believe that once you're able to put in the plan and maintain it and protect it, you're able to build a financial legacy that will last the test of time. Thank you.
Thank you. You can put your hands together for that if you appreciate the feedback. And let's go to you, Dorothy. So in this case, we're actually thinking, so what are some of the estate and gift planning strategies that we can adopt or we can get to know that can help us, each and everyone here, to be a generational thinker, passing wealth down and not the other way around? What are some of the ways we can adopt?
Okay, some of the ways we can adopt in having our legacies passed on is by, you can use a gift, writing it down that this gift goes to this particular person, and also setting up trusts. That is something we don't do in this side of the world. I think I've only done one for a testator who died.
Oh.
And he stated who should be, he was setting up an educational fund. And he stated who should be the trustee and who monies from the trust should go to or should go to their benefit. And then we can have wills to state who should have what. One thing I've also noticed is that most Ghanaian companies don't have any succession plan. They start the company, they think their child should be the next in command. They don't even train the child to be able to step in the shoes of the father or whoever and still think he's my child, so I'm leaving this company to my child. So we have to work on our succession plans. It may not always be that your child should be the one to succeed you, but your company must live beyond that. So you have to train others. If you also don't want to go and have your legacy being shared by some people who do not know how you and your wife and your children suffered to raise it, I would advise you write a will. And the will, you can give anything. I love shoes. I can give shoes out. You can give your hair. You can give your watches. It doesn't mean you have to have an estate or you have to have cars. Some little things like even cloth. People give out clothes. I've written wills where people give slippers. They are ahenema to people. That is what he feels is his legacy he can leave to his niece or nephew. So if you want to pass it down to a particular person and not have it being shared by some customary successor who doesn't even understand 2/3, 7/9 as the PNDC law 111 says, kindly have a will or have a gift in survivors, write it down, have witnesses or tell somebody, have an executor who will ensure that whatever you have stated or the legacy or wealth you want to leave will go to the right person. And as I'll borrow from my senior, train the children to be able to manage it, because we realize that some people leave estates and their children can't manage it. Even paying estate duty in court is a problem. So train your children also. Thank you.
Thank you. You can put your hands together for that. You know, said Richard Atta earlier said that those people you don't want to come and have a share in your properties, they are looking at you. They know. They know that you are doing things they know. Anyway, let's talk about this excessive needs and wants syndrome that has taken over so many young people these days. We all dream to own so much wealth, yet on the short term, we are consumed by our needs and wants. And we ask ourselves, how can we realize the skyscrapers, the money in the bank, whilst we can't even save a CD in an investment or whatsoever? Mimi, help us. How do we navigate this whole issue?
Unfortunately, when it comes to our finances, a lot of the time we think that we are our own person. We decide what we do. That's not true. We are influenced by people. So if you should sit down and think about why you bought the shoe you bought, it could probably be a friend said something, you watch something on TV, etc. So you have to check your influences. That said, in a cons, it says if you did a cons, you know that resources are scarce. You can't do everything. Even Bill Gates or Elon Musk can't do everything. I'm sure he would have bought Ghana if he had, So the truth is that our resources are scarce. We can't do everything. Because of that, there's a need to prioritize. And I always say that a lot of the time we let life happen to us. We don't sit down and think about, okay, what life do I want for myself and my family? So a friend has bought a car, so because of that, you buy into the pressure and buy the car. a friend has done some birthday party for their child, and you buy into that pressure. But if you should really sit down, you may realize that this is not who I am. I like to do A, B, and C. So why don't I sit down with my family, and why don't we prioritize that this is where we want the family to go? That said, when you are sitting down to prioritize, you have to look at yourself now or in the near future. What are the things I will need to achieve now or in the near future? And in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, what are the things that we'll need to achieve? And prioritize, because as I said, it's not everything that you would want to do. You realize that some things are more important.
Yeah.
So once you do that, then you can ask yourself, what resources do I have available? And how do I allocate them to these areas? So maybe, to me, I worked in the pension industry before I moved to, and I did a lot of education. So I can't be found to be broke at 60. It's a priority for me.
Yes.
So if you check my finances, you see that a lot of money goes towards that side, because I've sat down to think about it. I don't want to be a signboard. They say, oh, did you see that girl who came to tell us this? Look at her, like, no. So because of that, I put a lot of effort into that. It's a goal for me. Another goal is my children. Like I said, I want to leave an inheritance for I want to be deliberate about that. So you would see in my budget that some money has been allocated. So if your budget is not matching what you really desire from life, then there's a problem. You are actually living somebody else's life for them. So look at what you desire. Also, make sure that you are not focusing too much on today's needs at the expense of tomorrow. Because as you are praying for long life, tomorrow will definitely come. Are you going to be okay tomorrow? And the great thing about tomorrow is that you may not necessarily need to put in too much effort at once. If I need a car now and I haven't, planned for it, I may need to do a job that will bring me, now you need like 200,000 to be able to buy that car. But if I need a car in the next 20 years, I can put in a little effort. And if you do it well, taking into consideration that in Ghana, inflation and all the currency depreciation, you'll get to the 20 years and you'll be able to achieve that. You understand? So you don't want to let go of the opportunity of time because you were too focused on all your needs today. So prioritize. It's not everything that you need. Some of us just need cars that move. We don't need a 4-wheel drive. Let's be realistic.
Put your hands together for me, please. Yeah, and I believe that you sitting here today have gotten that understanding that, okay, I think it's important to protect what I have. The least I have. What do you have? Shoes, clothes, and a whole lot more you have to protect it. And the question is, so how do I protect it? What do I need to create protection for these legacy that I have that I want to keep for my next of kin? Let's talk to Mr. Ifa on what approaches or documents or strategies must we undertake to ensure that we safeguard these properties that we have acquired?
Okay. So for many of us, usually the thinking is that when we talk estate planning, gift planning, it is more of the one who has property, who has something to give. But many of us here are either beneficiaries or potential beneficiaries of somebody's estate planning. So you must also take interest in knowing that, okay, if my father is leaving some property for me, how do I ensure that truly I'm going to get it? And that is where the question comes in. That, so what are the documents? How is it done? So that when I see, I can be sure that, okay, so I'm safe with this particular thing. A friend invited me to work on his will. I asked him, okay, let's start. I'll need these things. So when you are ready, call me in. Then he said, oh, I I have a daughter before marrying my current wife, and I have properties. Now, that daughter, the elder daughter, she's so quiet that I don't think she will fight for property when I'm no more. So I just want to take care of her. For my wife and children, they are fine. So I told him that then it's not a will you need per se. Make a gift to this child, and then you will the rest of your properties too, so that she knows that whilst you are alive, I have taken over this. So there are different approaches to solving the same estate planning questions. And as a young person, you should be interested. So we are talking about giving back and giving forward. So as a young person, you should be interested. The accounts have a saying that you will to a CSWA on chatting yet. If your parents have started a business, you shouldn't be thinking about you going to also start a new business. It's about joining hands in making sure succession is planned so that you continue where your parents are. So one, at the heart of estate planning and give are three major documents that we need to look at. The first one is the will that we talk about. We also have trust. Now, a will is the document itself. That's the will. So in a will, you, the one who owns the property, you are sharing it to certain beneficiaries directly. That when I'm no more, my daughter called Emma should have my mobile phone, my Samsung mobile phone. I'm using small items that we can understand. And my son called Kuku should have my gun. You get me? So you are sharing the properties. That is a will. Now, essentially, a will must be signed by the one who prepared it and witnessed by two people who, in the presence of the one making the will and in their own presence, saw each of them sign. So you don't prepare a will, you sign it, and then you go and look for witnesses to come and sign, like normally we do. That's what we normally do. We sign document, and we now look for the witnesses to come and sign. But for a will, the witnesses should have seen you sign the will. And when they are also signing as witnesses, you should have seen them. If this is breached, the will fail. It will not be admitted to probe it. That is the fundamental thing you should see in a will. Then, with wills, anything that comes under the signature of the testator don't count again. So if you make a will, after you sign, you, the one making the will, you are called the testator. After you sign, anything else, any donation, any gift that comes under your signature don't count again. It should be up and above your signature. So I'm saying this for us because, like I mentioned, as a beneficiary, you should be interested. So that if you find your mother's will and the donation that has been made to you are under her signature, you know that you are not getting anything. Because whatever is under the signature of the testator don't count again. So then you can politely find a way to draw your attention that the little education, I attended some conference, estate and gift planning conference, and this is what they said. So I think that this thing you've done in your will is bad if you can change it, you see. Because you are going to be the beneficiary, and you should be interested to know that what is being given to me will actually come to me. Yes. So that is it about the will, and we also have trust. Mr. Arthur explained the trust. That with the trust, the management of the estate or the property is given to a third party known as a trustee. But the benefit is enjoyed by the same beneficiary. So I've done wills for people who tell me that I'm doing this will purely because of my second born. He's too troublesome, and he's the only one I feel that he will not be too responsible if I'm not around. And this is the only reason why I'm doing the will. So when you feel that this son will not be responsible, he is having issues with substances, alcohol, and things. However, you still want to take care of him. In those instances, you can create a trust. Give the management of the asset or the property to a responsible person, and let the son, the troublesome son or child, enjoy the benefits. So then you create a trust. Now, trust too are also used where the estate is vast. Where the estate is vast, you don't use wills. You use trust. Another reason why trusts are used is where you want to keep everything private. When you make a will, along the line, it will become public because the executors have to go to court to, have it admitted to probate. And court proceedings are public. Anybody can apply for a copy and say, I want copies of these documents. And the court will supply. So sometimes for privacy, people wanting to keep everything private out of public view, they go by trust, create a trust, and put everything, the management and the ownership to the trustees, and let the benefits be enjoyed by their own, chosen people. So this, and then insurance products are also very key in going about estate planning. And the interesting thing with insurance is that you don't pass insurance on through wills and trust documents. With insurance, it goes by the beneficiaries, the named beneficiaries. So assuming you take up an insurance product and we say that when I'm no more, my first son by name Adam should have whatever I have accumulated in the insurance. That is what you have told the insurance company, and that is what is in their records as your beneficiary. And in your will, you say, I have an insurance product with so-and-so company. Whatever I have there, I give it to my sister by name so-and-so. You see, what you have given the insurance company as your beneficiary takes precedence over what is in your will. And so that's the good thing with, estate, using insurances to pass on your wealth or your estate. It is what you name as whoever you name as your beneficiary who gets the estate. So that one, whether they are fighting over the will, they are not fighting, it doesn't affect it. And it is same with even SNIT, our mandatory SNIT contributions and everything. Once it's insurance, we go by whatever is the beneficiary in the insurance document. So insurances are also very good to use. And then we talk about the deed of gifts, where you want to make a gift in a written form, you go by deed of gift. You can also make a gift by customary means, where you only have witnesses. You see that, look, this, my phone, I'm giving it to, and you call a few people to serve as witnesses and you pass it on. That is also accepted and is done in our society. So you are going by deed of gift if it is a gift or customary gift with witnesses. And asida, when you receive a gift, you have to do thanksgiving. It's a requirement of the law. If you do not show that you have thanked the donor of the gift to you, it's not valid. And you see, one funny thing is that one of the ways of thanking the donor of the gift is to enjoy the gift. So merely going about enjoying the gift is enough thanksgiving. So I give you a phone. In my presence, you are calling Ama with the phone. You see, you are enjoying the phone. That is asida enough, and it's accepted. So there must always be a form of thanksgiving to show that the oral gift is valid. And then we've talked about wills, we talk about deed of trust or trust deed. if you want to create a trust. And I've explained some of the circumstances where we create the trust. We talk about insurance products. Ibrahim is here. You see him. He will tell you what you need to, have sign on to some insurance product. These are the common document that we should look out for.
You should put your hands together for our speakers thus far. At this very moment, we will now come to you for you to also share your questions, all right? So our speakers will go for a short water break. Just drink some water whilst you get ready for questions that will be coming from our audience at this moment. So initially today, we were talking about the insurance, the wills, and you were telling us your uncertainties, your fears, and a whole lot more. Now the microphone is back here again. You've heard them. They explained it further. Now, do you want an insurance policy or not? What do you think? So tell us what's your fears now, your initial fear. Any question you want to ask to just know more about insurance?
So now I think I would like to have an insurance. Yes.
Put your hands together, please. Let me come to my friend who wants to also have $1 million before she could do a will. What do you think?
Okay, after listening to all the lectures, I believe having an insurance is important. So it saves my family from any disputes, and it also leaves a legacy for my grandchildren and the family.
She's a generational thinker. Generational thinking. But yes, sir.
Okay, I want to thank you for the information. I just have a few questions. You mentioned that there can be an instance where a beneficiary of a will is deemed irresponsible or is seemed not to be someone that can appropriately manage this will. I've heard there's an instance where you can actually put like a condition, like this person has to change. So let's say he's an alcoholic. Can you put it in your will that this person has to undergo therapy and come out of the alcoholism before he inherits the will? That's my first question. And then my second question is, you mentioned trust, and trust can be any person that is responsible. I want to ask, what are the criteria for someone to qualify as a trustee? Because you can't just give your hard-earned money to someone to serve as a trustee.
Thank you so much. So we can note the questions now. If we have a few, we'll just respond to them. Thank you very much. See someone behind. Well, let's hear from you.
Okay, with my question, I heard an inheritance can be given to a trustee. Yes, in my case, the inheritance was given to the person. The person was managing and giving to whoever the income must be given, but the beneficiary. But as the man died, he didn't tell his relative actually what they were enjoying wasn't his, and he died. So his children took over without taking care of the person who was supposed to inherit the thing. So with that one, what can the person do?
I don't know. Is it clear? Okay.
So with the insurance too, what people think is that when they make an insurance for a property, unless damage occurs, for instance, for a house, unless damage occurs, they are not going to get anything. So what about that one too? Because some people fear that they put their money in insurance and nothing of that sort occurs. And it's like the insurance company will take the money. So what about that one too?
Now. What happened to your money? Okay.
So I want to ask about gift tax. I've always heard something called gift tax. So I want to ask the process of paying gift tax and what kind of item would warrant somebody to pay gift tax. Because, I mean, we are all talking about gifts. What if I get a gift and they say I should pay gift tax? How do I go about it? And what do I have to do? Thank you.
Thank you. This is from the people. Uh-huh.
I wanted to ask that if someone dies intestate, okay, and probably after the funeral rites and everything, the family successor accepts to give every estate, whatever, to surviving spouse and children. What happens after that? What is required of this, the surviving wife and then the children? Thank you.
I also want to understand this. If a trustee is given and then he's supposed to take care of the beneficiary, and along the line he stop, what should the beneficiary do? Especially if the beneficiary is a minor, what will he or she do if the trustee failed to take care of the beneficiary?
Thank you. In fact, we have gathered enough questions. I don't know if there's any other question again. All right. So I believe that you were able to note down the answer. So I will start with Ibrahim, do start first. Yeah. So you say your part of it, and then we can do it all too. Mr. Ifa.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm glad that there wasn't much insurance questions because, insurance has such a bad name, quote unquote, in this part of country. But I don't blame citizens because perhaps we've not done our part in ensuring that the right claims are paid when they are due. The question that came was about you buy an insurance policy, and when the risk doesn't occur, the money is not paid to you. That is essentially the fundamental reason of insurance. Insurance is to provide financial benefit to you when a risk occurs, right? But there are a number of insurance policies that are available. So we have risk policies. Risk policies, for instance, a death policy. If you buy a death insurance for like your parents, yourself, your kids, it means that you are only buying the insurance policy to cater for your financial, standings when you pass away. So when you buy, they will tell you, okay, when you pass away, they will give your beneficiary, say, 10,000 or 20,000. You can't come back and say, I want the money because I'm not dead yet, because you bought the policy, for the risk to occur. There are also insurance policies that are meant for investment as well. So for instance, you buy an insurance policy and they give you what they call sum assured. When you save for 10 years, you are going to get this amount, right? So it means that you are saving for the 10 years, and when the 10 years is up, they will provide you with a sum assured amount or a lump sum amount. And there's pension. People don't see pension as an insurance policy, but pension is supposed to provide you with financial benefit when you hit your retirement age. And so when you save towards your pension, and when you hit the retirement age, you'll be given a lump sum from given a monthly pension from SNIT, and a lump sum from the pension company or the corporate trustee as well. So the fundamental issue is when you're buying an insurance policy, just be clear in your mind what policy you are buying. If you buy a property insurance and it covers fire, accident, or natural disaster, it means that the risk would have to happen before the benefit is paid to you. Now, insurance companies are coming up with a lot of innovative solutions where if risk doesn't happen for a certain number of years, a percentage of your contribution is paid back to you, which is called a payback. So there are a number of insurance companies, if you buy, say, a vehicle insurance, a comprehensive insurance, right, and that particular year, you don't have any accident and don't enjoy the benefit. In the subsequent year, when you are going to buy the insurance, they discount it for you because your risk profile is reduced. And so there are a number of insurance policies you can buy, but make sure you are asking the right questions and ensuring that when the time is due, you get the benefit that is due you. And I believe that those misconceptions would reduce significantly. I believe I've answered your question.
Very
Thank
well.
you. Thank you very much.
So maybe you want to add up?
So for me, I'm a financial planner. I believe so much in insurance. I've had an accident before, a very weird one, and it was going to cost me 16,000, to fix this car. Now that money would probably come from an investment. Maybe I was planning for a vacation. That means I'm not going anywhere. You understand? But because because I've insured the car, and this is comprehensive, not third party. When the accident happened, even though it took a while, I was given the money, I fixed my car, and we are back on the road. And a lot of the time, I don't know, we like to see it as we've given our money, we've not gotten anything. But that peace of mind, that should anything happen. And, if you build a house, a lot of Ghanaians take so many years to get to the house. If fire burns or something happens to the house, and you have to start from scratch, that's a problem, number one. Number two, a lot of the time when the thing happens, you wouldn't have paid enough, for that house to be built again. So the insurance company is taking on a risk. And sometimes insurance is defined as like a sort of like a welfare fund. Those of us who are in companies that are paying welfare fund, we say, we've not gotten anything, you've not given birth, nobody is dying, you've not married, and you are arguing with somebody else, we are all contributing, but there are other people that the thing is happening to. So it becomes like we are all sort of like supporting them when it's your turn. So it's not an investment where you put in money and you are expecting that whatever you put in, is what you are, plus interest is what you are getting. With insurance, it's to protect you so that you can have the peace of mind that should anything happen, you are fine. That's the rule of insurance.
And now to our legal officers in the house who help us answer these legal issues. We'll start with Dorothy. Briefly, okay. Okay, so I think we can have brief responses so we can wrap up. Thank you.
So I'm talking about the conditional will, where you stated that can conditions be put in a will? Yes, conditions can be put in a will. And for some testators, that is those who write a will, they can even choose not to give anybody, one particular person, something. And usually they write the reasons why they won't give that particular person. I did a will where the testator wrote about how he has spent on the son who was a drunkard, and he recounted every money he has spent and the places he had taken him to try to get back on track, and he didn't. So he wasn't benefiting from the will at all. And others too can put it that maybe you should get to this age before you benefit. And that one is the duty of the testator to make sure that you meet the condition and then you benefit. Or the executor to make sure that you meet that condition and then you benefit from it. And then we have another question from someone who asked that after the interstate is gone and properties are shared, what's next? So after that, the administrators of the interstate estate must prepare a document we call vesting assent. There they will state the property, who it is going to, and then the administrator will sign, and then the other person will sign. You have it registered with the Lands Commission, stamped and everything, and then it becomes yours. So then that's assent, that property has been vested. Vesting means they've given it to you, and there's a document that shows that it has been given to you. So that's...
All right. Let's also get a wrap from Mr. Ifa.
Yes, so I'm talking about what happens when a trustee dies. The legal principle is that you cannot pass on what is not yours. We call it the nemo dat principle. It's very common. You just hear the nemo dat principle. So once the estate is under a trust, the trustees don't own it. They are not the owners of the property. You see, so the trustee cannot say that I'm passing, my trusteeship to another person to. No, it is the one who set up the estate. We call them settlors. The settlor. It is the settlor that chooses the trustees. And so if the trustee dies, the settlor can appoint another trustee. If the settlor does not appoint a trustee and you are a beneficiary, of the estate, let's say you are a child or a spouse and a beneficiary of the estate, you can apply to a court to appoint a trustee for the estate for you, because there was just one trustee and that person is gone, and the court will appoint a trustee for you. There are also registered trusts. We have the Trustees Incorporation Act. So for safety, and under that law, once a trust is registered, it becomes a body corporate. I don't know if you are familiar with the principle of body corporate. So that one, whether the trustees are alive or not, is an organization. Let me put it that way. So the trust now becomes an organization. So you can, where you want to ensure that in the absence of the trustees, there is perpetuity, there is succession, then you go to the Registrar General's Department and have the trust registered under the Trustees Incorporation Act. And it becomes a body corporate. So at any point in time, I mean, managers can be appointed just to see to the trust. But then it continues even after the death of the person. Now, should the son or wife of any of the trustees take over any of the properties thinking that it is for their father, you only need to draw their attention that this thing don't belong to your father. If they insist, you have to speak to a lawyer to take them on, because once it is not for their father, they cannot take it. That's the principle. Yes. Now, gift tax.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, when you receive a gift in excess of a certain amount, you see, you will pay a gift tax on it. I think now the rate is 5% or so. For tax, the tax people will come to you. Don't worry. They will come to you. But one of the key considerations in every estate planning is tax implications. I didn't go there because I don't want us to complicate the discussion. Yeah, so if you receive a gift from your father, let's say a house, because the value is in excess of the minimum, you definitely have to pay a gift tax to the government. But I'm saying that with taxes, the taxman will come to you. There's also what is called self-assessment in tax administration. You can also go to the taxman and say, look, I want to pay the tax. I've come. You understand? You can go to them and say that I've received a gift from my father. I want to pay the gift tax on it. That is what Akufo-Addo will say, be a citizen and not a spectator. You want to be a good citizen by going to the taxman to pay your tax. That's how it works. It's a flat rate. Once you pay, that is it. You are done.
Very well. Put your hands together for our speakers. They've well addressed the issues, and we wrap the session. Okay, so you can have the time to engage them. So afterwards, you can engage them and then have further discussions with them. Because of time constraints, we can't do so much. So please forgive me if they skipped your question. You can meet up with them, and they'll help you. So you can do it again for them, not for them, so you can take your seat later on. Sure. So moving on to our next item is to invite on board Madam Audrey Mensah-Miracle, Ghana Association of Banks, to do a short presentation on online financial malpractices and cybersecurity issues. Are you here, Madam Audrey? All right. Put your hands together for Madam Audrey. She makes her way up here. Very important concept about cyberbullying, bullying and online malpractices, and it's important that we all pay attention to this session. We're actually getting to the end of the program so soon. Yeah, but let's try and then pay attention to speakers, meet up with them afterwards, and then ask your very core questions you want to ask. So before she makes her way up here, one last time. Warm her up. Yeah.
Just a little bit. We have slides, so I'll hide a bit. Whilst I'm preparing my slides, I'll go on ahead and also proudly mention that October is actually Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So today, as we are discussing our future and our plans, it's also important for us to speak about how we secure the wealth we are trying to build. As I'm putting my slides together, I only have 10 minutes, yet my topic is very, very important. As I was listening to the previous speakers, I want to believe we have a potential of being beneficiaries. So my presentation will be from the point where we are all beneficiaries. So imagine after everything, the wills or even going through the courts, then you become a beneficiary. If it's money, it hits your account. Then overnight, that money disappears. It's possible. It is possible. I'm sure some of you have since realized that times have changed. The statistics today prove that we have 48 million users of the internet. And when I talk about 48 million devices that connect to the internet, we have about only 33 people in Ghana. These are statistics from 2022, by the way, 2023. So the population is about 33 million, was about in 2023, was at 33. Our money as well. And we've even linked our bank accounts to our mobile money wallets, making it easier and convenient for us. Madam Mimi mentioned earlier that we plan for our holidays. There are people who do not want to plan. There are people who are targeting that your account. They want overnight wealth. And you are all targets to these people. So I'll try and wrap up real the people who want to get access to your wealth, don't use any hacking tools, but rather they call you, they entice you, they get you excited about investments, about doubling your wealth. They easily get to you and manipulate your mind without even being anywhere close to you. That is when they get to steal your data, which what we use as bank. We give you your PIN and your password. That is how we authenticate that you are who you say you are. But if this data gets onto the wrong hands and is being used by these individuals, there's no way your insurance company will know that they are not who they claim to be. Because the tools that we use, that this is how we're going to authenticate that when you're coming to access your wealth, this is what you're going to show to me. We're always all carrying mobile devices. We need to know what is on the previous slide, please. As we are doing banking, as we are doing our communication, our chats, we're all carrying mobile devices. How many of you, when last did you change the PIN on your mobile device? There's no PIN. On that your mobile device, you have Google, that when you forget your PIN anywhere in those secure platforms that we have secured as your bankers, as your insurance companies, your chats with your lawyers, everything is on that mobile account, on that mobile device. If that device is not secure, you are handing over your wealth to criminals. All the wealth that your parents suffered, they saved for, you are handing it over to them for free. There's credit card information. You have your mobile app there, right? Get to your mobile app, I can easily get your account number. There are your phone calls. I know who you are talking to. You have your name and your address. Some of you have even saved your digital address on your phone. Your locations. I know where you go and where you are at any given point in time. You can easily become a target. I mentioned your bank account details, your contacts. I'm sure some of you have received messages from your contacts claiming that they need money, they're desperate, they are somewhere, and you're like, oh, it's Mr. Iwa, he needs money real quick. Then you send it. Why? Because they've compromised his device, they've got into his contacts. And because by nature as people, we are trusting, it is very easy. In this room, if I can send one message and claim I am who I am and a contact that you know, I can get at least 10 people to fall for that. So that's your contact list. You need to protect it, please. Today, change that PIN on your phone. On that Google account, change that password. Some of you created the account while you were still in university. Change that PIN today, because all your backups, remember when you forget your password, they have to send you a link. It is sent to that Google account. And if I compromise that Google account, I have access to all the other, even including your bank apps, because I'm going to send you a link, right, which will go to Google. So change that account password. It's very, very important. Where are we? Okay. What are some of the risks that are out there that want to take advantage of you? You have the online fake shops. You have the WhatsApp takeover, which is happening every day. That is how I can compromise you and your relatives. You have blackmail as well. Remember, if I get hold of your chats, I can easily, some of the chats we have with certain people are quite sensitive. Somebody can hold you ransom and start forcing you and blackmailing you to give them more money. Otherwise, they will expose this data. So you can imagine if that data gets into the wrong hands and is being manipulated, you are being manipulated by someone, you can end up losing that wealth that you have benefited. And remember, one of the speakers did mention that there's privacy. Privacy is also one thing that we look into in cybersecurity. As you are going on with your daily life, these people are profiling you. So it is very important for you, as you go about it, to try and keep your data safe, be mindful of your digital footprint, what you share about yourself. Because honestly, As I go out, if I go outside and I look at the cars or I look at your shoes, I'll be able to tell how much you have. Oh, yeah. If I go online as well, and in 6 months' time, I see now you are wearing a Cavalli and you are driving a Mercedes-Benz, and I know something has changed. What has changed? Don't give these criminals that opportunity to be able to profile you, okay? So what are some of the ways that we can help by staying safe online? It's very important that that mobile banking app that you have, that mobile banking app that you have on your phone, you download it at the right place. Go to the Play Store, go to the Apple Store to download it. Don't get a link from a friend to send it to you. Why? Because it's very easy to clone a mobile app and share it. What will you do immediately you get the mobile app? You'll try and authenticate and go to your bank. That is when they'll harvest the data from you, then they'll send it to somebody else. They'll have a copy of your data. And what you do as a hacker, immediately I get that data, I'll quickly log in and change so that you do not have access. I own it now. What you'll be receiving is text messages that 50,000 gone, 20,000 gone. And what they do is, it doesn't sit with one wallet or one bank account. Immediately, I steal 100,000 from you, I split it. Because even following that money around, then somewhere we withdraw it. Tracing it back, finding out what happened and how, it is very difficult because in most cases, you had handed over your PIN to these people. So it's also important for us to back up the data on our mobile devices, and we should avoid just connecting to the internet anyhow and anyway. This free internet, there are tools that are constantly looking out for sensitive data, collecting that data. Sometimes we just collect all the data, then they filter. What do you think is important? Then they work on that. It's a good thing that Bluetooth technology is no longer that active. For somebody who still uses Bluetooth, it would pain me to know that people are still using Bluetooth. But in the house, when you're playing with your stereo, connect your Bluetooth. Immediately you are not connected, let it disconnect. I'll just give you briefly some of the do's and don'ts of you to stay safe online. One, keep your your profiles private. If I go to LinkedIn, it is okay for me to know your name, your full name, and where you work. But if I go to Facebook, I shouldn't be able to link your account directly with your LinkedIn. Remember, on Facebook, you have a lot of people who are trying to connect you and be your friends. Some of you here, if I ask how many friends do you have, like friends, you have less than 10. But you go to social media platforms, somebody has 40,000 or 1 million friends. Are those people really your friends? And you are sharing everything that you do with them. So please, keep your profiles online private. Make sure that I cannot move between platforms and identify you. By doing so, you are reducing the chances of somebody profiling you so that I would know that, oh, what has changed? She's now going to Dubai. She's been struggling with some of us. Then she's gotten wealth. There's money there. Then they come after you. So keep your profiles private. Only connect with people you know and friends. We all know how friendship is. Some of your friends are not really your friends. So please, on these social platforms, I know we are trusting. Let's try and keep it safe and keep private. Be mindful of the posts that you share. Sometimes we get so excited. It's election year. We might get even into some brawls, get excited and you start communicating. Some people use that to profile you. And that's what you post today. Later on can come to haunt you. So be very careful on what you do on social media. We're all hiding behind the computers and phones. But that particular day when something happens to you, somebody will go and dig that post and it will be used against you. Also, it's election year. Let's respect people's privacy and opinions and things. If they believe in this, okay, that is what you believe in. I will not get into that argument with you. I know what I believe in, okay? Because that can also come back to haunt you. If anybody tries to offend you or bully you online, just simply unfriend them. There's no point in trying to justify your action. Just simply unfriend them and block them. That way you will not be bullied. Move away from it. It's what we call risk avoidance. You avoid that risk by unfriending the person, and that's it. Block the person. And let us use strong passwords. Strong passwords, not your date of birth, not your digital address, because that one is easy to guess, and we all know where we stay and how easy it is to get your digital address, not your pet name. I know some of you, when we're creating those Google accounts, they'd ask us, what's the security question? Oh, my first school that I went to, that is easy to get. Oh, it's my mother's maiden name, that is easy to get. So please, let us change those security questions, and it doesn't have to be true, whatever you put in there. Like I say, it'd be very easy for me to find out your mother's maiden name or to find out which school you went to. That is information that is readily available to anyone. Make it do a twist. Instead of using your mother's maiden name, maybe use your grandmother's. Okay, next slide, please. The don'ts. The people who meet online, they are not who they claim they are. Don't post offensive messages online. And 2, don't share personal information. Sorry, I need water. Don't share personal information online, something that will easily identify you for who you are. It's very important. You find that some people are posting their Ghana card online. You know how sensitive that document is. You know how troublesome that document can get you. You know how many doors that same document can open for you by just presenting that document. And that document is easy to forge, because some people think that once they see it, that is it. So look at your face, they look at the name, you are claiming who you are, you're coming to claim your benefits, right? You look at their face, you look at the name, it matches. Us as banks, we've gone beyond that, which is why when you're presenting your Ghana card, we'll take your fingerprints. We want to go back to the National Identification Authority database. Let us see the picture that is in there. Does it match what is here? You know? Not everybody does that. So please, keep that Ghana card safe. Today I can take the Ghana card, go and register another mobile device, another SIM card, and start committing fraud under your name. You see? So please, that Ghana card is very, 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 very important. Keep it safe. Don't be playing around. Or if somebody else wants you to use your Ghana card as a testament, also try and keep it, don't share it with anyone. And also, those friends' requests, remember what I said, that not everybody is who they claim to be. It's also important that we keep our real photos and even the information we keep on our mobile devices. It should only reflect a situation whereby if the device gets into the wrong hands, you're not going to be embarrassed. It's also important to look at your mobile apps that are on your phone. What permissions do they have? Why is your calendar, I have access to your camera? Why does it have access to your microphone? It's easy to do a script and send it to you via via WhatsApp to say that every day around 7 p.m., switch on his microphone. I want to listen to all his conversations. I don't want to scare you. All I'm trying to say is, what you see out there online is not what it seems to be. Try and keep your mobile devices safe, because it is testament that mobile devices are what we use every day, be it accessing our online shops, be it paying our bills, be even receiving our important documentation. Your university results, we receive them on our mobile devices now. So please, let's secure those mobile devices and let's share very minimal about ourselves online. Thank you very much.
Hands together for Audrey. That's a very, very informative session. You can do it better. Put your hands together for Audrey. Okay, we'll pick questions. Can we do some questions? A few questions? Yeah, 2 questions. We'll do. Just 2 questions, all right? 2 questions. All right, have 1.
Okay, so thank you very much for that presentation. I loved it. My question is that you've told us what we should do to prevent such harm. What if we've done all those already? Like we've we've engaged in all those harms already. What should we do to stop it? I mean, we've friended strangers on Facebook already. We have these passwords. What should we do?
Damage.
Quickly go and unfriend those people. Go and unfriend them. As a young person, another thing what I've realized is that you've also shared certain pictures with certain people. Withdraw those pictures. Go and get those pictures. Those are the pictures that will make people blackmail you. Go and get those pictures before, and make sure that going forward, you don't send those pictures. Ladies, if you want those pictures, do not send them, because you do not know who has access to his mobile device. What I share with you, I have the PIN, I have the password. You don't know who has access to the other person's mobile device. If anything happens, I'll go back to the banks. You realize that maybe you've even shared your PIN by mistake. Somebody called you, pestering you, and you decided to share the OTP, what we call the one-time password. You know, when you're logging onto your mobile device, on your banking mobile apps, we normally send an OTP. Then somebody will force you or curse you into sharing that. Immediately you realize that has happened, call your bank. If it is your Momo account, call the telco and let them know that this is what has happened. Please freeze my account. They have 24 hours to do that without any documentation, whereby maybe you're going to go for a court order or for the police report. Within that 24 hours, remember, money moves very fast, and when they move this money, it spreads across. And it becomes very difficult, especially where they're going to withdraw it. And insurance does not cover that money.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Rosalind from the University of Ghana. And please, I wanted to ask, you see, we the youth, we mostly go on sites, let's say the visa sites, the Canadian visa sites, to input our informations. And then sometimes we input our phone numbers and things, not knowing the negative impact of it. So when we send it later, then we realize that the site is fake. So after doing that, what do we do? Like, because we've already sent the information. What do we do after that?
We pray. You pray that that information doesn't get onto the wrong hands. You pray that he doesn't pick yours. Because honestly, data harvesting, I can collect data about all of you here. You know, what you are praying for is you shouldn't be the target when they get that data. Because honestly, like you say, you're applying for visa, you might even go to a cafe where you have no control over that machine if it has been updated. Who else has access to that machine that you left, that data you left on that machine? Or even on the receiving end, there could be other employees who are malicious, who take that data and use it against you. Yeah, you pray. Once the data gets into the wrong hands, you don't know what they will use it for. So it's very, very important that at least the data that is with you, within you, on your mobile devices, you have the securities. And you also cross-check. You look at the website that you are visiting. How secure is it? Where did you learn about the link? Don't get the link from your email. But rather, what I would suggest is, if you're applying for your visa or you are communicating with your banks, go to the bank's page, website, and get the contact details from there, rather than getting the link from someone else or somebody sending it. Oh, we know that your father is late. We need you to complete your details. Here's a link. Please complete this. This is what we call phishing, phishing for information. You know, so it's very important that you know that there's this coming up. Work with the original company. Rather, you go to their website and communicate using those official channels. Because when they are cloning their websites or they are cloning their pages, sometimes they even look better than the original one. You can't tell the difference. Gone are the days where you could look at an email and see the spelling mistakes. With AI, they're generating even better messages. They will even tell you what you want to hear. You know. So yes, the prayer is still there. But try and also be responsible and go to the right sources for information.
Okay, thank you. Please, my question is, on WhatsApp, it'll be like they have two-step verification. And how do they get access to, because if you've done the two-step verification, how is the account being hacked again? And how are you going to retrieve it?
Oh, hackers can worry. You can also add yours.
Okay, so thank you very much. I want to ask a question related to what my sister just asked. There are times that we apply for scholarships online. So I want to, is it good for us to use our details when we are applying for it? And how do we know that this link is genuine for me to use? Yes, please.
I'll start with yours. Like I said earlier, make sure that you are the one who goes to the website and validates. Even if you receive it via email, don't use that link that came via email. Between the sender and you, the recipient, so much can happen in between. So much. It could be a legitimate sender. There's what we call middleman attack. Somewhere in between, somebody can change that site and misdirect that link to somewhere else, a malicious site. So it's important that you receive it via email, but you yourself go to the website of that institution and fill it out from there. WhatsApp account takeover. Set up your second factor authentication. That is one. And two, in most cases, it is also linked to other security features. It's not just your what is on your second step verification. Do you know that with your mobile device, as we are here in this room, if I take your device just for 1 minute, I can scan the code and be receiving all your messages on my machine, whether your phone is offline or not offline. So here's a situation, I've scanned your code, I'm seeing all the messages that you are seeing on my mobile device. You go online, you tell us you're going to Dubai. I know Dubai is 7 hours ahead. The damage I can cause between the time you take off at Kotoka to Dubai, because I have access to all your contacts, and you know why? The sad part is they can't get hold of you because I know you are not available. So I've taken over your account. So account takeover is not only where you don't have access immediately, it's also where somebody will actually hijack temporarily, then give it back. Because by the time you get to Dubai and they call you, it will be you that they are able to get to. It will not be me that have stolen your details. So it all boils down to oversharing. Who has access to you? Who has access to these devices? Like I said, if that phone had a PIN or a password, they wouldn't be able to scan that code. So please, those devices need to have those PINs and passwords. I know what I'm talking about.
Yes, we know. Put your hands together for yourselves. Thank you so much, Madam Audrey Mr. Miracle, Ghana Social Banks. Thank you so much for this very vital information in these times. I actually went back to social media, deleted some comments I made, okay? Nowadays, if you follow people on social media, you say things. I went to delete my Temboko, I don't have a problem. All right, so at this moment, I'm also going to invite a rep from our partners. I want to have here with me Serum from Ghana Think Foundation. Put your hands together for Serum. I also want to have with me my friend Bold Labels, the man behind Bold Labels, SK Fashion Shadrach. Come up here, please. Come. And also, I want to have my friend from Ojadini, Wilbert. You here? Come. So Wilbert, and let's all come together and let's wrap it out together. Some very important information you want to share with people who are here. Nice people, our partners. Partners, nice people. Put your hands together for them, you know. Strong names behind the program. So let's start with Serum. Serum, say something to us.
Hi, everybody. Hey. Good afternoon. Don't worry, I'm not that shy. Thank you so much for the opportunity. We are partners of Center for Financial Literacy Education. Peter is a very good friend. Peter is also a member of Ghana Think Foundation. At Ghana Think, we believe in harnessing the power of Ghanaians, primarily for the benefit of Ghana. And we do that by two various programs. We have our Barcamp Ghana program, which is a networking youth forum, which we organize in most of the capital cities in Ghana. When it used to be 10, we used to have it in all the 10 capital cities and some selected cities. Now there are 16, so we need volunteers across the other regions to form local teams. But Barcamps basically bring together youth to discuss and brainstorm about issues that are affecting them in those communities. So if you're in Kumasi, issues that are around Kumasi that you think that we can discuss and find solutions to. How many of us can now type our and our O on our phones? Yeah. So that was somebody's frustration at one of our very early bar camps. And then we have what we call the breakout sessions. So a few people got together and said, how can we do this for Ghana? And today we have Kasahoro that is allowed us to be able to type all this and also send our letters and our language across. So those are some of the things that can come out when we come together to think about solutions that can benefit Ghana. We also have the Ghana Volunteer Program, which seeks to encourage and build a habit of volunteerism in the people of Ghana. We believe that everybody who volunteers, even in their own small corner, can make a difference. And so if all of us are making small differences in our different pockets of Ghana, by and large, Ghana will be the bigger beneficiary. We also have our Junior Camp program, which is a youth mentoring program for children or pupils from the senior high schools and below. We believe that if we mentor them right, by the time they get to the universities, they have enough knowledge to make the right decisions. And we do this. Peter has been a very good partner in that as well, also encouraging, ensuring that the financial education goes down right from the early stages so that the right decisions will be made. We have other programs like Anokwale, which is a fact-checking program that we have. So I would encourage all of us to look up Ghana Think Foundation and be part of us. Let's all together make a difference. And I believe that this conference has been very successful because I have learned a lot, and I know you have also picked up a lot of information. Please don't sit on it. Don't go back and say, oh, I have this information, so I'm only going to use it. The way to benefit others is that you also share the information that you have. If those who came to give us all the brilliant information didn't agree to be here today, we don't have that information. So whatever you've learned, when you go back, share with your friends, family, let them also know. That way, we have a bigger mass of people who understand what financial literacy is, what estate planning is, what is gift planning, everything, and then they can also make the right decisions. Thank you very much.
Okay, so my name is Robert. I'm a software engineer, and I want to start off with the cybersecurity, especially what she was saying is very important. With AI now, with your pictures online, I myself, with the skills I have, can make a video of you and then send it to someone and literally impersonate you. So I want you to be very careful, especially when you are sharing your pictures online. There are skills now, there are tools now. We can impersonate you. And please set up the two-factor authentication. They are very important. Without them, I mean, you're not safe. I can even hack you. So please be very careful. Yeah, that's from a software engineer. I'm a white hacker. We do it to make sure systems are safe. Now, coming from Ojedini, hearing about your financial literacy, I mean, our mothers that haven't been to school and our people that are doing work. Some of you do side jobs aside studying. You have like clothing things you are doing. You need to track. You have to have a plan. You have to have a system, something you are using to track your business. You have to make it serious. That is what Ojedini is here to do. Along the line, you'll be needing a loan. You need the data for the loan that you are going to apply for. You can't just go to the bank and tell the bank that you want 50,000 cedis. How profitable is your business? What is the proof that if we give you this loan, you can give us, you can pay back the loan that you're asking for? That is what Ojedini does. I myself partnered with the engineers to build it. We have a record keeping. You can track your debtors, creditors. So you don't have to now go and say, we owe them a car City, last time from Mami, like them kind of things. We have accounts checking, so you can, at the end of the month, look at all the sales that you've made against your inventory if you bought all the things. And it's free, like, it's for free. You can just go there. We have a premium version, and then we have the free version. It's online. You can go to the Play Store and download it, and then use it to upskill your business. So when I say Ojedini, you say control your money. Ojedini.
Control your money.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you so much. SK.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is SK Frimpong, CEO of both labels. Peter is my good friend, and we are proud sponsors of this conference. You know, we have to look good for this conference. You know, that's what everybody wake up this morning, everybody bow, try to look good. So as both label, this is what we can do to support today's conference, is to make these events memorable, beautiful, and fun. After all, we've learned a lot, and I would say it's good to have you all here. You can contact us on social media, both labels. I'm the CEO, so you can also see me after the event, and we talk. All I would say is, to be frank, I'm really happy to be here. I've learned a lot as a business owner. I've really learned a lot, and I'm glad that all of us have also learned a lot.
Sure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Put your hands together. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. In fact, he said that it is good that we look good. It is good. Yes. Yes. You know, and he said that, yes, he's sure that we all look good, all right? He was very sure.
So as part of their partnership for Estate Engagement Awareness Month, they decided to make this crude for myself and the moderator. Yes. So you can see them. They are the classic people. So if you want to look good, if you want to look classic, just talk to them and yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Put your hands together for all our partners who made it here. In fact, it's been a very great moment thus far, and you can attest to that we have really had great time learning. Now we are at the point where we close the program, and you know, sometimes when you have chairpersons for events, they leave intermittently. You see them going like this, but this chairperson, he stood, all right? He is with us from beginning to end. Let me invite Mr. John Ewa upstage to give us a closer remark so we can bow out. Put your hands together for him. He's a phenomenal chairman.
Thank you. We are 33 minutes behind time, so I'll make it brief. You all agree with me that today has been a very great day. We've learned a great deal. And as with any financial literacy program, irrespective of who you are, you can be financially illiterate. You can be a university professor, Prof. Entry, not you. You can be a medical doctor, and you will be financially illiterate. And what we are seeing, even from the bank side, is the people who are getting duped increasingly are the people who are so-called educated. So we need to take financial literacy extremely important. When you see us, or hear of us, or read about us, do not just walk over. Pay some particular attention, because there might be something in there that will be good for you. Personally, I have learned a great deal this morning all the way to this afternoon. So I'm not just the chairman of the advisory board, I'm also a student of financial literacy, and I'm sure all of us are. We've learned that if you fail to plan, Yes, it doesn't mean you have not planned. You have planned to fail. So either way, you have planned. And if you don't share your wealth, somebody will share it for you. So wills are important. And here I'll just give a very simple personal experience. A very good friend of mine, whose name I mentioned, perhaps some people here might know, he's passed just this year. Very wealthy, hardworking. In fact, I haven't seen his kind before. Made some fortune. Unfortunately passed, abruptly. And knowing very well, a friend of mine, level-headed person, I had already assumed that he had a will. Just last week, I went to Kumasi and I got a call from his assistant. And he kept, long story short, kept telling me about what the wife is going through because my friend did not prepare a will. And now, interstate, and they are in court and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Don't let this happen to you. We do not deserve that. So we need to take wills and testations and all the planning that is needed so that our estate gets into the right hand. The people we are deliberate to hand over to so that we get it to the right people. We've also learned that our fruits of the labor we go through every day should outlive us. I can count, in fact, many on my fingertips like this, businesses, no names that do not exist now because that the business was not good, but because the one who started it is gone. And there was no proper succession planning, and the business has all of a sudden disappeared. But one good thing about will, when personally I did my first will, there is a humbling experience when you go through the process of working a will. You become humble. The whole idea that you are fighting for cars, for houses, and you sit down and say, this one, give to that. That one, give to that. This one, give. All the thievery that is going on in the country, all the stealing, all the economic frauds that are going on, if people were going through the process of dishing the things they are stealing out, trampling on others to get to other things, they will become humble, and perhaps that may be the answer to the fraud and the crime and the corruption that we are experiencing as a country. The humbling aspect of the will, that is what is sufficient for me. So let's all go through it. And you don't need to be wealthy, have millions or whatever. We've just learned today that you can actually will your slippers. So let's go and will our slippers. So of all the things that we have learned, we've known also that succession planning is not just good for us as individuals, it's good for businesses. If for a business, you need people to take over and to take over and to take over. And we should be deliberate about this. When we live here, it's about the start. We need to pass on the good message. We need to ensure that those who could not join us here also have the benefit of hearing the good things that we've all consumed today. And the last thing I will say is now everything is on social media, and my colleague in the office, Audrey, has done a fantastic job. And I remember I did a presentation to the Methodist Church Men's Fellowship about cyber security and how to operate safely. And when we finished, people said, some people came to me and said, so can we stop using the cell phone? I said, no, you don't have to stop. You just have to be careful and be intentional about the things you share. Because once it gets out there, you can't eat it back. Once you write something on the internet, you don't know who has screenshot it, you don't know who has forwarded it, you don't know. So once it gets out there, it's gone. And these days, for those of you who are Canada visa processing, when you are applying for visa, they ask for your social media handles. United States, if you're going to the US and you're applying for visa, they say you have Facebook, what is your handle? Because they go back to check the kind of things you have been posting. So if you are adult and you have been following kids, you are a pedophile, They will use that, and because of that, perhaps you qualify for everything else, but because of that, maybe you'll be declined whatever entry. So let us be careful and be intentional about the things we do, because they have a way of coming back to hurt us. Thank you and have a lovely weekend. Finally, we talked about social media, but please do follow CFLE. These days they say follow. Let's all go to Instagram, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, and follow CFLE Africa. Thank you very much.
Appreciate. Thank you. And I want to acknowledge our participants who are here from the Public Health School. Put your hands together for yourselves. You guys came in all elegant. All of you, elegant. Yes. And also to my school, University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA. Yeah. You're always here. It's good to be here. And University of Ghana. I respect University of Ghana Law. Put your hands together for them as well. And all of you that came from other West of Life, media houses, Class TV, Pan-African, AAU TV, Joy Business, and a whole lot more you here. Thank you so much for your time and resources into the event. At this moment, we only call the speakers and the board members to kindly walk upstage for a group photograph, and afterwards, all of us will have a big photograph. Are you ready for that? Okay, so let's do that. Yes, right here. Let's go.